humans.
I got this bad one too. Dang, gotta bring my clips.
What? You need? I left one in the trunk.
Okay.
It's all good. Hey, shalom, shalom. Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. We'd also like to give double honors to our elders, bishops, and apostles of Great Millstone that do move well. And we'd like to say peace and salutations to the Lord's elect, to the hopeful elect in the 1/3, and Adon Ratazah, these lessons, these modern day epistles, the church of Yahushai, okay, are edifying to Yahushai's sheep, okay? To you we say shalom, and to Wadi Abashim Shai, Abashim Kakwadash for putting on our spirit to come out here. And if you didn't know, we're living in the end days. And as Yahushai said, it be as the days of Noah. So in the spirit is getting ready to rain.
Yep.
You hear a trumpet. So it's getting ready to rain on these humans, man. But salvation's for the nation of Israel. And that's what you people are getting ready to witness through all the mist, the destruction, the water, bro. The mist, the destruction, tribulation, Jacob's trouble. But Jake's gonna be saved out of it. Yep. Let's get I got you. Let's do 30 and 7, and then we could Jeremiah 37, and we could do Ezekiel 37.
Okay.
Do we need this on now?
It's on 90%.
All right.
This is Jeremiah 30 and verse 7. I'm gonna start at 6 if that's cool.
Yep.
Jeremiah 30 and verse 6. Ask ye now and see whether a man do travail with child. Wherefore, right, and that's not normal. Men don't have children.
Meaning being in despair.
Right.
Being in agony.
Right.
Being in stress. Being in a near-death situation. That's what these people are getting ready to experience. But right now, there's no free will. So right now, if people were allowed to know what's going on, the camps would be filled. The videos would be the viral. It wouldn't be Charlie bit me. Like, It would be, people would care about what's coming in the future. But this is the careless city. Just like in the days of Noah, they were supposed to be in that manner. That's why we're not out here to physically grab you to get you to listen.
Right.
It said, my spirit has gathered them. So the prophets come out with a warning to tell you something before it happens, to tell you that a mandatory marking is coming for the general public of people.
Yep.
All right? John the Revelator saw people getting something put in their forehead. John the Revelator saw something getting put in your hand to allow you to still buy and sell, And
it reads,
and as Israelites, we are supposed to tell you that.
Yep.
Okay? So if whoever you're watching on a day-to-day ain't warning you or keeping up with what's going on with scriptures, I'd walk away from them. Mm-hmm. Because everybody's caught up in La La Land. Everybody's caught up in date night. Everyone's caught up in work. Everyone's caught up in some event that's going on. Well, there's about to be the event that has never taken place known to mankind. A day not like it, where the Bible says even men are going to be as women.
Yep.
So tough talk now, man.
Yep.
And as they say, what, tough titty?
Yeah, tough titty.
People gonna have to deal with it.
Yep.
You're gonna have to deal with it. Keep going. Oh, there's sleeper cells out here. You got Persia talking about they're waking. Hey, a 2.0 911 is getting ready to happen here.
That's right.
And guess what? Your same standing government, the way that they're gonna fix that threat is by locking everybody down. So don't think just because you're passive or effeminate or a family man or a Mo that you're gonna get a pass, man.
Yep.
The Lord judging across the board, they're gonna treat everybody like a threat.
Yeah.
Not just niggas and spics.
And it reads, Jeremiah 30 and 6, wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins?
Every man. So it ain't just in particular man. So men in Jacob's trouble are gonna turn into females.
Yep.
You're gonna have your couple tough guys, you're gonna have your couple Bruce Willis moments.
Yeah.
But what did Ethan Hawke say in Leave the World Behind?
I was just thinking.
I'm nothing without my cell phone.
Yep.
I'm nothing without my GPS. What if an EMP hits? What are these people gonna do when it's a complete blackout and you don't know what's happening in Henrietta and then you stuck at Niggerville?
Yeah.
Yep. You're not even near home. Police can't get to you.
Yep. And it reads, as a woman in travail.
And police ain't gonna be able to do nothing. What was that? World War Z?
Yeah, yep.
What did he do? He ran and got Babley formula for his house.
Yep.
That's what people don't understand. America is not even under law. They may say to protect and serve, but they're not protecting and serving you. Okay?
That's right. And it reads, as a woman in travail,
Yep.
and all faces are turned into paleness.
Right, fear. That's what happens when you're in complete fear. Your face turns flush because your body will push blood to certain organs in a fight or flight situation.
Right.
So that you get scared. Like say you're scared the shit out of me.
Scared shitless.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen.
Yep.
Money ain't gonna fix this. Money ain't gonna stop Russia.
Yeah.
Money ain't gonna stop China. You know?
Yeah. It says in the day of that wrath, silver and gold is not gonna protect thee.
Yep.
You know?
Meaning Russia's not gonna look for some kind of payment plan
Right.
to alleviate the act of war. You got war happening right now.
Yeah.
War is happening right now. But it was okay when Amalek was doing all the warring. But now when some brown-skinned heathens are doing the warring, oh, now we got to address it. Blood was nothing unto you. So now you got to handle it.
Right.
And all these people have sold out to America. So now you're going to go down with the ship. The same ship that brought us over here in slavery.
Verse 7. At last, for that day is great,
Intense.
so that none is like it.
There ain't going to be a time where you're going to be able to say it was also like that.
Right.
Because you can't, you know? Resources are going to be cut thin. Resources are going to go to what? Military, you know? And that day, military is going to be taking over resources. That's why you have FEMA. By law, if you look it up, FEMA can take away your goods to help other people. And the main prepper is Esau, you know?
It says, for that day is great, so that none is like it.
Yep.
It is even the time of Jacob's trouble.
Yep, which is who's Jake? So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. So who's being targeted right now? Latinos, Negroes,
Yeah.
and then you got natives just being roped right in
Yeah.
on the reservation, drinking rubbing alcohol,
Yeah.
emulating Judah, you know,
And it reads,
as the days of Noah.
right.
It's all good. Enjoy that's why I said, rejoice and be glad. Okay, let them rejoice. Let them have their last green eggs and ham.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
let them have their anniversary. My anniversary.
Right.
You know,
The parties, all that shit,
the
man.
functions, the awards.
And it reads, but he shall be saved out of it.
So salvation is for Jacob, because it just said, in a time there will be no day like it, salvation will still be for Jacob.
right.
And that Jacob that salvation is for is going to be the elect.
Right.
So how's the Edomite going to wiggle his way into that?
That's right. Real quick, you want that Ezekiel?
Yeah, I want to check the audio.
Okay. Dang, I know this fucking bus right here.
But that's heathens for you. Everybody's got to stop what they do. Like, you have Jake homeless that lives on this street, but when it's St. Patrick's Day, now niggas got to leave so Esau could walk around drunk, carrying in public.
Yeah.
You got it.
Okay. We'll start from the...
This bitch can't park. It's a female, too. Park the bus. She a DEI. Oh, audio's good.
It's good. Ezekiel 37. Oh, you want the top or where you want?
Where you at? At 1?
37, yeah.
Yeah, start right at 1.
Ezekiel 37 and verse 1. The hand of the Lord was upon me
Yep.
and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord and set me down in the midst of the valley which was full of bones and caused me to pass by them round about.
Yep.
And behold, there were very many in the open valley.
That's Jake. And the valley, Psalms 23, is the valley of death.
That's right. Like earlier, that before camp, that Jake woman walked by and she said, "What y'all about to do?"
Yep.
But she's she dry bones.
Then we had to wait to park Which Sawadi Abashim Shai, we got a parking spot, but we had to wait for some dope fiends to get their fucking dope, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
And then the corner, there was a Jake with bandages on him, and he was just literally laying on the street.
Literally.
Like it says in Revelations 11.
Yep.
And their dead bodies shall lie in the street.
Right.
And what's Esau do? Walk over it, party over it, you know?
Real.
But then we'll tell you that salvation's for all of us. But he won't even showcase salvation for you.
Right.
With his resources, which
Right.
we know prophetically why. But they have a stance, one, that they don't believe in God or that they're God-fearing people. But in 2025, why is Jake worse than he was before?
Exactly. Right.
Jake is worse right now.
Yeah, bro. And just like, Yahweh Shai said, no flesh shall be saved.
Right.
That's why the days are getting shorter, because if this place will just keep going on, we'll be through.
Yep.
So I'm glad Yahweh Shai died for us, man. I'm glad he's coming back to save us.
Right.
Because without Yahweh Shai, man, come on, man. Ezekiel 37 and verse 3. And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live?
Yeah, and that's how people look at us. Like you got Jake right down here who's homeless.
Yeah.
Esau is carnal. You got to understand, Babylon's carnal. Okay? The business world of Babylon is carnal. So if they only physically see you through, they can't wrap their head around that you'll be taken out of this position. You know? Keep going.
And it reads, and he said unto me,
And Esau's a proud, weak vessel.
Yeah.
Esau's a proud devil. He's a proud loser. Edomites are proud and losing.
Yeah.
White America's on its way out of here.
Yeah.
But they'll still smile. They'll still feel some form of success. But all Esau's revenue is all digital.
Yeah.
So let the power go out. How you gonna get to the bank account?
Right.
You know?
That's right.
All these Edomite relationships is gonna break down the minute adversity hits. You know? It's some proud ass people. And then Jake, shame on you for enacting pride with the devil.
Yeah.
Who's most proud. You got Jake that are siding with Esau because they really think that nigga's gonna win in the end.
Yep.
Especially Eve. Eve feels safe around Esau, but Esau be taking Eve out too. And when Esau smiles at you, he ain't smiling at you because he's friends with you.
Right.
He's smiling because he's laughing at you.
Right.
Thank you, Yahweh Shema Shai. Yeah.
Real quick.
Wasting all that gas. You see what's going on with Israel and Iran?
Right.
You better save that.
They trading blows back there, man.
Yeah.
Over there in the east.
Exactly.
And soon, hey man, war on the streets is gonna spread over here.
It's gonna spread over here. There's already uproars here.
Yes.
On July 4th, there's a national No Kings protest. Businesses are about to start shutting down.
Yes.
And you're still gonna be required to pay your bills. How is that gonna help you? You know? Babylon is a business. And in business, they have no problem doing layoffs. It says the grinding shall cease.
That's right.
These people are mere mortals, man.
That's right.
They're proud, mere mortal people.
That's right.
Rude.
Come on, man. Real quick, 2 Esdras 8 and verse 50. For many great miseries.
Yeah, many great miseries. Man, listen, I've been thinking about it. You got all these little power couples. The minute adversity hits, your woman ain't yours.
Yep.
The minute adversity hits, your woman ain't yours, bro.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's right.
You can talk on that power couple shit if you want, but let some shit go down. And watch how quickly her fretting mind changes.
Yeah. That's right, bro.
Ready to jump ship. So there's many great miseries coming. Gender war, class war, food war, race war. Those are a lot of miseries.
Yeah.
And then he's pushed upon you being single and independent.
Yeah.
So how are you going to be single and independent against a mob? Okay? Against a military. Against a militia. Okay? That's what you... With no electricity. All right? With no running water.
Man.
With lack of resources. With no access to Wi-Fi or cell phones.
Yeah.
With lack of information of what's going on or who to trust.
That's right.
That's what they fail to realize.
That's right. And that's why it says that wisdom and knowledge is going to be our stability
Exactly.
in that time.
The Israelite man stability.
That's
the
right.
ones you call niggas or niggers.
Right.
The ones that were sold in slavery. The ones that were given syphilis during the Tuskegee projects.
Yeah.
The ones that had over 19 million so-called black babies aborted.
Yeah.
Just like the Israelites in Egypt when they were throwing the man-child in the Nile River.
Right,
Now
bro.
plan that for your parenthood.
That's right. And it reads 2 Ezra 8:50, for many great miseries.
Yeah, great miseries, like no day like it.
That's right.
Keep going.
Shall be done to them that in the latter times shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride.
Look right here, it says a fleet dedicated to pride.
Oh shit.
But the Lord said that he's against the proud. Don't it say that in Jeremiah, I'm against the proud?
Yep. Against the almost proud.
Yep.
Let me get that real quick actually.
Yep.
Jeremiah 50, I believe.
Yeah,
see here.
50 and 29.
The water.
Let's snag that real quick.
And I still got Ezekiel for you too.
Yeah, let me pull out my scriptures too. Forgive us. There's a lot going on, so
Let's see.
sometimes it takes a couple turns of ignition to get the car started. What you got, Crowd? Is that about?
Against the almost
This is
proud.
the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 45
Oh, got it. Verse 30.
in the NLT. Come out, my people, flee from Babylon.
Yeah, we're supposed to be fleeing, not integrating.
Right.
We're not supposed to be going to the Christian church and standing off, yelling out precepts. Okay, we're supposed to rebuke, warn, and edify.
Yep.
It says, I set watchmen up. Okay, now this fool that has called himself a chief said he feels he don't need to tell you about not to take the mark when it tells them, Amos 7 and 15.
Gotcha.
What does it say? Tell my people, prophesize to my people.
Yeah.
We're supposed to prophesize.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 7, and verse, let's see here, verse 15.
Yup.
And it reads,
Siete y quince.
and the Lord took me as I followed the flock.
The Lord took me, like the Lord took us from Babylon in the spirit. The Lord took us from a Gentile mindset. The Lord tooketh us, like we're waiting to be tooketh up. So the first step is to be taken in the spirit, okay? Like they said, the revolution won't be televised, meaning because it's going to be in your mind,
Right.
okay?
And it reads, thou said, verse Slakia, Amos 7 and 15. And the Lord took me as I followed the flock, and the Lord said unto me, go prophesy unto my people Israel.
There you go. So we're supposed to prophesize unto you. We're supposed to tell you. And then back in Jeremiah 51 now, and then you got yours.
Yeah, yep.
Verse 45, save yourselves, run from the Lord's fierce anger.
Yeah, so we're running away from wickedness. Hence why now we're made ourselves a prey. He that fleeth wickedness maketh himself a prey. So there's been a very vexing, edifying, baptismal week.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah, bro.
But it's helping us. The things that we're going through during the week is helping us how we react, how we handle it, how we're handling the fire, the adversity, because that's building us up for a day when someone's gonna crack because they ain't got no more water left.
Yeah.
Eating loved ones, leaving children. People are gonna die in their unfaithfulness.
That's right.
But they're gonna be put in situations where the only way out is faith, and then that's where they die. Because they weren't given the gift of faith like the Lord's chosen people, and out of the Lord's chosen people, the elect on this side.
That's right.
Keep going.
Verse 46,
And what is a Christian church gonna say? What is Christian churches saying right now with Amalek and Persia?
Nothing at all.
What are they saying? Okay, and even for IUIC, there's bigger fish to fry than Church 2819. You seen that? They're standing out like, yo, everyone is in this like, you got Jake, July 6th, family friends fast.
What?
Like, bruh, like eating and drinking. If you're one of those happy-go-lucky, t-shirt fringed, dreadhead Israelite, you're through, man.
Yeah.
You ain't in the right spirit.
Yeah. Just like
I'm a Hebrew, but I'm not a polygamist. You're through, bro.
Right.
Your wife got your balls between Deuteronomy and Colossians. I'm just saying it like it is, man.
Real.
Get your fucking nuts back.
For real, man.
Y'all don't even know what being an Israelite man is. Revelations 21 says, the flock of my pasture are men. And this place has completely decimated the image of what a man is in the eyes of men and the eyes of our female counterpart. To where now she thinks a man is drug scales and bullet wounds.
Yeah. Damn, bro.
You fucking see the agenda?
Ain't nobody speaking out about that but the prophets.
Right.
You know?
Keep going.
Verse 46.
And then Esau's up here in the hotel eating dinner or lunch saying, look, honey, niggas.
Yep.
Now I might watch The White Man's Burden again.
Yes, yeah.
Because it's free.
That's a great movie.
And you know, we like free shit.
Yeah, that's a great ass movie, bro.
Keep going.
And that's coming soon. You
Yep.
know?
And burden is a weight. You know, it's a load. Like how right now we're burdened, but we're carrying our cross and we're putting our burdens on the Lord.
That's right.
And we're living minimal lives, you know, being reminded to constantly pray daily the Lord's Prayer. Just give us our daily bread, you know? Yeah, we're underpaid, but we're learning the value that we're gaining from it.
Exactly.
What characteristics are we gaining?
Right.
You know? Instead of just always monetary gain.
Right.
Reparations. This Jake yelling reparations. I'm like, how they gonna pay you when they go to war?
Exactly.
How they gonna pay you in the next world war? They're gonna be destroyed. And this fucking bald-headed, thumb-faced nigga, so you just gonna lay down there, huh? Nigga, they getting ready. The world is moving to a digital currency.
Exactly.
Chief Ephraim, the world is moving to a digital currency.
Fucking meathead.
When the vid hit, everybody was on board.
Yep.
Okay? Because I had asked ChatGPT, can countries still operate economically? Can they still operate economically like while going to war? And it said, yeah. See this nigga up there fixing his fucking dread.
Fucking pretty boy. Right, man. And that's one thing too. Of course, you gotta, lay down, if you will.
I don't trust niggas that chew on their hair.
Dog, man. The scriptures say, wait ye upon me.
Yeah,
I'm the Lord.
exactly.
We're supposed to wait upon Yahweh Shema Shai, not take matters into our own hands.
Because we're under punishment right now.
That's right.
So if how much more our fathers, how much more theirs then?
That's right.
You know?
It was just like Jeremiah, he was telling that wicked ass king, hey man, you better listen, basically take heed to the Babylonians, pay those taxes.
Yeah.
But he didn't. That's why we got fucked up. But it was prophecy,
Yep. Jeremiah.
Yeah, Jeremiah. Yep.
Jeremiah 51 and 46.
Let's go.
In the NLT. But do not panic. Don't be afraid.
Don't panic. When you don't panic, you a cold motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
When you don't fret, when you don't trip, when you not showing them you suffering. Hey brother, don't be showing nobody you suffering.
Right, man.
They're not your savior.
Right.
Spirit was telling me, you gotta man up. The shit ain't right, but you gotta man up to it.
That's right.
So we were learning to man up.
That's right.
Coming from curses. Not all of us was born with a father figure. That's why a lot of Jakes will look at Esau as a daddy image, because Esau sees he has a prophet with your black legs to win the high school trophy.
Exactly.
Coach Marsh,
Yeah.
I just want to thank you. He don't give a shit about you, bro.
Like that movie Fences with Denzel.
Right.
He gave more reverence to the Edomite coach than his father.
Yep. Because he... Exactly.
This image right here.
Exactly.
Exactly. You got it, bro.
46. But do not panic. Don't be afraid.
Oh, don't make haste in a time of trouble.
That's right.
You dealing with it. Even like now, Azariah didn't make haste when they were thrown in the fire. He started praying. You got to actually remind yourself in His truth to pray.
Yeah.
Sometimes you could suffer so much that you get used to suffering and then forget to pray about it too.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, let me pray. I'm so used to getting hit. Let me also pray to get out of being hit too.
Right.
Keep going.
That's right.
Do not panic. Don't be afraid.
Yeah, like women, you sisters in the chat, don't be fronting, be humble. Now you right, I be trying not to, but I be scared, because that's your design. You're the weaker vessel. So our role is to be the stronger vessel, the righteous vessel, like it says in Romans. Esau is a dishonorable vessel, all right? So that's why it says the man's the head. But Esau disrupted that frequency, and then now it's got you out here just drunk and through.
Yep.
Flaunting and wanting. Keep going.
When you hear the first rumor of approaching forces, For rumors will keep coming year by year.
Oh, that's Matthew 24.
Yeah. Yep.
So the rumors keep coming.
Yeah.
Russia and Ukraine, Pakistan, India, Amalek, Iran.
Yeah.
You know? So
Right.
there's a lot of rumors going on. There's a lot of things happening all at once.
Yeah.
So you got to know the key ingredients for the plate of prophecy.
Yeah.
To know, okay, it's done. You know?
It's just like a boxing match. It's like, okay, okay, like say if a boxing match is scheduled in September, but like that whole year is gonna be built up. It's like, oh man, he said this about him, he said that about his opponent. So how much more World War III?
And
You know?
when the fight goes down, you're not really a lover of the sport if you're expecting a first round knockout.
Right, exactly.
You gotta
Right.
wait till the 7th or 8th round.
Right.
You gotta wait till they're getting broken down.
Yeah.
War is strategic.
Yep.
Okay? The Babylonian business, it's war. You know how they operate? It's war. There's a lot of war that goes on out here. That's why when people are getting ready to get married, they say, I'm engaged.
Right.
So I always say, who's winning?
Right.
Because engaged means to battle. So there are people that are engaged right now. Poland's getting ready. France is getting ready. But guess what? In war, you still talk with the enemy. It says the king counted the cost. Just because they're getting ready to go to war don't mean Iran won't be talking to Trump.
Right.
You got to understand the professionality when it comes to war. War is not just emotion, you know? It ain't a gang fight, all right? It's time, it's place, it's prophecy,
Yeah.
it's position. You see?
That's right.
Keep going. And now it's so real, we looking. Remember she text me?
Yeah.
Now we like, who that, what they say? What Ruder
Right.
say? Who that?
Yeah.
You know, we looking for the notifications. That's why for me, I'm very strict on myself of what I allow my phone to notify me with. You know, when you download an app, you know, I'll be like, the app wants to be allowed to, no, hell no.
Yeah. Hell
No, I'll know when I click on this app.
Yeah.
You're not about to just fill my shit up with just a bunch of folly.
Exactly. And then that's one thing too. Like I don't put notifications on all my apps. You know, just the prophetic apps.
Yeah.
And of course the the WhatsApp with the chat.
Yeah.
But besides that, that's
Yeah.
all. You know.
Yep. Even text messages.
Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta
Yep.
go into the text message to know what you had text.
Right.
You know? Keep going, get a fire truck now. These people ain't ready.
Yeah. Well, fire's coming though. You know.
What he say? Pump. They ain't ready for me.
Right.
Yo, y'all not ready for the
Right.
Lord, man.
Come on.
Y'all not ready. Oh, yo, the God of the Bible is a so-called black man.
Right.
Who you call Jesus is a so-called black man.
Right.
And we live in a wicked-ass white, so-called white man's world.
Right, bro.
That tries to downgrade us for having color.
Oh shit, snap.
Look, they right there.
Yep.
Fire's coming.
That's right.
Let's see.
That second death is near.
Let me see.
And it's funny how Babylon's called a melting pot, but it's gonna turn to an actual melting pot soon.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, every time you say that, I think of Spice It Well.
Oh yeah, in Ezekiel.
Yeah.
24.
Yeah, but keep going, please.
Try this out, but yep.
Jake's gonna be afraid.
Call it out. Call it out.
Jeremiah 51 and 46. Violence will erupt in the land as the leaders fight against each other.
Wow. What is that? Jeremiah what?
51 and 46.
Mm.
In the NLT.
Oh,
Right,
NLT?
yeah.
Okay.
Violence will erupt in the land as leaders fight against each other. For the time is surely coming when I will punish the great city and all her idols.
Right.
Her whole land will be disgraced,
Mm.
and her dead will lie in the streets.
Woo.
Then the heavens and the earth will rejoice. Out of the north will come destroying armies.
What's that be? Who? Russia.
Yep.
Which in ancient Babylon, which was north, would have been the Medes. Which
Yep.
now the Medes is occupied in the land of Russia today.
Yep.
Okay, so even where Russia or the USSR, that's equated to the north now.
Right.
And then in other prophecies, the north is referring to North America.
Right.
Like I will deliver them from the north, you know? Let me show you that real quick. Read that again. Read that about the arguing with one another.
Okay.
You got it.
Jeremiah 51 and 46. But do not panic.
You know what's heavy in 2025? Edomite men let Israelite men know they don't fuck with one another.
Yep.
Okay?
Yeah,
we don't
bro.
get a friendly response. You black woman don't fucking understand. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean that he don't like you? What do you mean? Like, you be at work and the way Eve gets treated ain't the same way Jacob's being treated.
Yeah, bro. It's a whole different vibration.
I just saw a New York fire department filled with white men who gave me a look of disgust.
Yeah, they all grilled us.
So why is that?
Right.
So stop with this world peace shit.
Yeah.
Okay? Quit that act.
Yeah, bro.
Stop fronting. Stop trying to take us places where we ain't accepted.
Yeah. And also too that proves that hatred is perpetual, because you got other so-called black nations, but they don't hate Elam.
Right.
You know, they don't hate Am.
Well, right
you know?
now you got Esau and Elam joining forces for AI revolution.
Yeah. Autonomy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Elam is big out here in Rochester when it comes to AI and humanoid robots.
Yeah, bro.
All right? So you got Bill linking up with Raul,
Yeah.
which is Psalms 83.
That's right.
Okay? We see it in real time. The Lord allows us to see this, but soon there's going to be division here. Watch.
Right.
Read that again, please.
Jeremiah 51 and 46. Don't be afraid when you hear the first rumor
Yep.
of approaching forces.
Because the end's not yet.
That's right.
But that's why it's going to come as a thief to these people. Because when it seems to be that moment, it like alleviates, you know? It's like when your car's overheating, it gets hot,
Yeah.
then it cools down. It gets hot, then it cools down. Then one day that shit's just gonna start catch on fire and not be put out. I shall send a fire,
Yep.
and who shall quench it?
Yep. Matter of fact, yeah. Let me get that.
Keep going.
Yep.
You got political issues. You just had some politicians get put to death.
Yep.
Now Esau is telling the people that you could touch their princes. You know?
Come on, man.
CEOs are getting hit. What CEO just means, what is it? CEO, Chief Executive Officer. It's just babble, it's just titles, you know? Keep going.
For rumors will keep coming year by year. Violence will erupt in the land.
Yeah, that's why in Ezekiel, the Lord said he's going to cause that proverb to cease, where Israel's not going to say the days are prolonged.
Oh yeah, what's that?
Is it 12?
Yeah, yep. 12.
Like 25 or something? Because Jake,
Oh, man.
they gotta look, these precepts are also mindsets. So we don't need to talk to someone to know what mindset they may have pertaining, you got it?
Yep.
Pertaining to a woman with the truth, or a scoffer, you know, a feminist, a Jake that's in Egyptology. We have precepts to let us know how they're thinking, you know? So a lot of these Jakes, they got a demon on them to think that there's more time. I was talking to this little jit, and I was like, yo, if you want to edge, you need to start doing push-ups and pull-ups now.
Yeah, bro.
He said, I got this summer, next year, and next summer.
Hell no.
It's all right.
See, and that's why we say Lord's will. You know, because everybody got their mind, you know, set here on things, you know, past Babylon. Next year, next summer.
But for their own individuality.
Right.
If you really listen, you don't hear a collective thought process with Jake together.
Right.
I'm gonna do this. That's why James 4 says, go to them that say, today I'll go here, tomorrow I'll go there. Okay?
Right.
These are the people you're dealing with, where it's just another Monday, or I got next week. You don't know. We don't know what's gonna happen tonight.
For real?
We don't know what's happening right now.
For real.
You don't even know. There could be a break-in. There was one time we were at camp, and it was the same day they so-called aimed at Nero.
Oh,
Remember?
yeah, yep.
Same day. So you could be at camp and something can happen.
Yeah,
Something with Iran, Persia is gonna happen.
yeah.
Then they're gonna link you in. You know? Then I asked ChatGPT if the FBI is monitoring Great Millstone, and it said yes.
Oh, shit.
It said it's monitoring extremist groups.
Oh, shit, right.
So you never know.
Damn.
Someone could come up, could be a Federal Bureau of Investigation officer, which is not like you're gonna find anything. We'll tell you who you really gotta watch out for, you know?
Wow.
Just like how the priesthood had to put Alexander the Great on. We could tell you what's going on. Not just Marvin Gaye,
That's right.
and it's June. What you got? Well, it's June is National Men's Mental Health Month. And ain't nobody talk about that.
Yeah. And it's Chip Month.
Yeah, and it's National See Hip Your Animal Month.
I got this right here.
Yep.
This the book of Ezekiel 12 and verse 21. And the word of the Lord came unto me saying,
I said it unto a Jake in front of this wicked ass Eve. I walked by and said, Happy Men's Mental Awareness Month.
Good.
Right in front of her little demonic ass. Leave her alone, man.
Yeah, bro.
And she shows you why. Okay? Eve shows you why. And watch, something's gonna happen with you other camps and those women up in there too.
Mm-hmm.
I hope an agent pops out.
Right.
You know, like in Fast and Furious, when that nigga revealed he was undercover,
Yeah.
gonna pull a badge out from under the fringe.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Keep what you got?
Ezekiel 12 and 22.
Men too.
Son of man, what is that proverb that ye have in the land of Israel?
You can have a federal agent undercover couple. You know?
Truly, yes.
Is that Mr. and Mrs. Smith? Or
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. Mr. and
Yes.
Mrs. Smith. And now this Edomite, he went undercover with a biker gang. So what he did to get credibility is he had one of the little Edomites to go with him, and then he went to a diner, and he checked the dude that was in the diner, and then took his woman in front of the other biker gang member. And when he was telling his story, he said that the dude he robbed was an agent, and the woman who was with him was an agent.
Wow.
So that he instead of him making up a story, he actually played one out in front of the biker gang member, so he could be like, yo, Troy is for real.
Damn.
And then I asked Google if you could get paid to teach against Black Hebrew Israelites, and they said yes.
Wow.
You could be offered resources from the ADL to come against the truth.
Wow.
Resources. So why all these niggas that come against us got the same bookshelf with books in the backdrop behind it?
Right.
Because that's what they offer you.
Right.
You know? They give you shit from Mayfair.
Yeah. Or just like Vocab Malone. He like that nigga stay traveling everywhere. You know, harassing brothers. You know, traveling from America to the UK.
Across the pond.
You know, from Virginia to Texas. That shit costs money to fly, man. You a fucking agent.
Well, skipping past all those Catholic churches, Planned
Right.
Parenthoods, sins of Gog,
Come on.
you know?
I was having a thought, and I was thinking, like, what if they was rounding up some of the migrants? ICE was rounding up some of the migrants like a handle, like yo, why you ain't check in?
Well, they do that, where they'll arrest you, and then they're actually,
What intel you got from
Right.
Did you do what I told you to do?
Yeah.
yep, just like Judas and the Black Messiah.
I was just thinking that. Right? Just
What they
for
do
real.
is they'll make you work for them while holding a crime over your head,
Right.
you know?
Yep.
Eat Greek. Why in America does it say eat Greek and we're all the way over here when it says Jew nor Greek? See?
Right.
I sold them to the Grecians. That's us.
Right. And we're still in captivity to this day.
To this day.
It says, what's that Baruch? It says that we are yet this day in our captivity.
Yup.
How? Come on, no, why is nobody talking about that? The people on the sign are still here. We got brought over here and still here. But everybody act like it's normal.
Like it's a
Come
new
on, man.
It's a new versions of you.
Come on, we're still in the same fucking land where we got brought to.
Where everybody, so all of a sudden everybody that had us in slavery and capitalized off of it, they just
Right.
and then a new batch of people just started, like niggas just sprang out the cornfield.
Come on, man. Yeah, precept.
Yeah, Baruch 3 and 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse. Now you got
Right.
Jakes that still are just called nigga.
Yeah.
They could be a suit, tie, clean face,
Yeah.
speak proper, you know, carry themselves well mannered.
Yeah.
And somebody will still be like, who, that nigga Jamal?
Yeah. Well, look at LeBron. Remember a couple years ago, they had spray painted nigga on his white mansion.
Yeah.
But he's supposed to be, you know, one of the great basketball players of all time.
Yeah.
But you would still be called a nigga at that status?
Yeah, 'cause
he's in a boule,
Because he's a boule.
you know?
So that nigga should shut up and dribble. Because we don't
Right.
want to hear what he got to say anyways.
Right.
You've been winning while sinning, nigga. Fuck you.
Right.
It says, and a curse, and to be subject to payment. So now the captivity is financial. The captivity is mental.
Right.
Okay? The captivity is bills. All right? It's the requirements to be able to stay afloat in the drownings, the drowning that Babylon allows you to float in.
Yeah.
You know? You're always drowning. You're always chasing.
Yeah.
You're always trying to check the check, build the bill. What the lock say? Back to back.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. The bills are back to back. Everything's back to back.
Literally.
Everything's held over our head. And before a B word try to get you, brothers, and how much you make, ask her ass what's the state's national minimum wage. Before how much you made. See, people ain't mad at suits. People ain't mad at the elite Edomites. But they'll be mad at you what you can't provide, even though he controls the resources.
Yep.
So don't be fucking arguing with a slave in chains next to you, man. And it says, and to be subject to payments, yeah, like child support.
Damn, bro.
That shit's wicked. That shit ruins your credit.
Yeah, bro.
You know? That shit's evil. And they don't even support the children. And then someone held a sign up at one of them ICE protests, and they said, you don't even go this hard for missing children.
Right. Right.
And then you dumbass women fall victim to the serpent yet again, and got mainly what? Jake dealing with all these financial woes. Now this nigga sitting in the parking lot at a minimum wage job listening to Eminem before he goes into work.
Damn.
I know you miss your dad. You know, I know you miss your mom. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Trying to smile and shit.
Damn.
This place is evil. There's a lot of evil that's going on that we're just supposed to act like ain't happening because Theo Vaughn's coming to town.
Right.
You know?
And especially the majority of their evil is done towards the Israelite man.
Exactly.
You know, like you said to me the other night, bro, the Israelite man is the most neglected creature on earth.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. And the most powerful one too.
Yeah.
And one shall be 1,000.
Right.
Okay? One Israelite man created the Israelite nation.
Right.
With 12 sons. That's why sisters be humble. What was her name? Dinah? We got 12 tribes of Israel here. Okay? Going back to all the sons. So you sisters are Israelites because of the sons.
That's right.
Not because Dinah got popped by a Hamite.
Right.
With red eyes and silver dark skin.
Right.
You see those niggas?
Yeah.
Yo, Eve, get it together, man. Get your shit together. And no more seafood Alfredo either.
Oh, right.
Oh
yeah, you got to finish that.
It says, according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power. See? So we had to go through the punishment that was told that would happen to our fathers, and then it came down and happened to us. So now this happened to us because of what our forefathers did. So how much more Esau for what his forefathers did?
Right.
You got to answer too.
Right.
And Ishmael, I'm going to give you a quota. You got a lot of ass to kick in the kingdom. You know, sideways. You got to kick Esau in the ass sideways. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that soccer kick.
Yeah.
You know you niggas like soccer.
Right.
Did we finish Jeremiah?
It's probably a little more.
A little bit more?
It's a little more than that.
All right. And what you got?
I had Ezekiel 12 still.
Okay.
And I got
read Ezekiel 12.
Okay.
We gotta get on Jake too.
Back in Ezekiel 12 and verse 22.
Cause grown ass niggas are acting like they're in the 90s still in GTA free play.
Yeah. A lot of grown ass Jakes are still boys in the mind.
Yep.
They're still childish.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
That's why the truth turns to a man.
Yep.
Like the apostles always say, in order to be a man of the Lord first, you gotta be a man. In order to be a man of the Lord, you gotta be a man first.
Exactly.
You know? But I had to learn that. We had to learn that.
Yep.
We didn't know.
Still learning.
Still learning, bro. Back in Ezekiel 12 and verse 22, son of man, what is that proverb that ye have in the land of Israel?
And we see that proverb on TikTok, on social media, through scoffing, you know? Keep going.
Saying, the days are prolonged.
So they gotta remember Isaiah 6.
Right.
Blind their eyes.
Yeah.
They see not.
Yeah.
So there's a demon on them to think that they got more time.
Right.
Like there's a demon on Esau to stare at you.
Yeah.
You know?
And what's that precept in 2 Peter 3? And it says, they scoff with us and say, where's the promise of his coming?
Yep.
You know?
Just like Esau says, we offend not.
Yeah.
So we're surrounded on all sides, but there be more with us than with them.
Right.
You know, while they look at us, the Lord looking at them.
That's right.
That's what people don't realize. And the Lord's eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. Humans, You're just
Man.
surrounded by ill, misinformed creatures
Yeah, man.
that need to be potty trained. Keep going.
And it reads, the days are prolonged.
So they think the days are prolonged. That's why it says it's going to come as a thief.
Right.
Because you think they're prolonged. You think you got more time. You think you tough.
Yep.
That's pride. I'm against thee, O thou most proud.
Right.
You know? The few, the proud, the Marines.
That shit weak, man.
Well, now the Marines are out in LA.
Yeah, yep.
The Marines are out in LA arresting American citizens. What's up with that?
And it
A
reads,
lot of you niggas look Haitian. Okay?
Yeah.
And they're deporting them niggas too.
yeah, for real, man. And a lot of northern knights, they look Ishmael.
Yeah.
You know, they look like Ishmaelites.
And you just had a U.S. citizen by the name of Jose Castro get detained right here in Gloucester, New York, by ICE agents.
Yeah.
Pulled his ass out the car, broke the window, you know?
Come on, man.
And Esau, you look like the northern too. It says a cake not turned.
Yeah. Back in Ezekiel 12 and 22, in every vision faileth.
Yeah, so it didn't happen. 2000.
Right.
The mark of this is the $1 million question.
Yep.
With the mark of the beast closer than ever, you got Jake jumping online to say what it's not, but never, ever, ever tell you what it is.
Right.
Is that like, can you like check that real quick? Like, hold on, wait a minute, let me get my shit together. So you never even talk to me. The closest you go to Rev 13 is 13 and 10.
Yep.
He that leadeth the captivity shall go into captivity. But you never go into what the mark is.
Never.
But then the one thing you'll do when you fix your fucking face, all right, to talk about it is to say what it's not.
Yep.
And we got receipts on you.
Yeah.
1 minute you say a couple years ago that it is gonna play a part in the end times.
Yeah.
But then a year or two later, after a couple fucking Seagrams when the wine ran out, now you jump online and say, I got $1 million question. So what that led me to believe is you had demons just tap dancing on your brain. And you thought that was a good thought. You know, you actually thought that you came up with something.
Yeah.
You know how close the mark of the beast is? And in their head, that's for really the rich.
Yeah.
And in their hand, that's for the poor.
Yep.
Now, don't get me wrong, the rich still gonna operate with it in their hand for buying and selling, getting in their home. But if you peep, Esau ain't about to Neuralink a nigga.
Right. Right.
About to Neuralink a nigga. That's why he put a beeper from your waist to your ankle.
Yeah.
You went from a beeper on your hip to on your foot, man.
Yeah, man.
Like Kunta,
Yeah.
the chain. And remember they cut his foot off?
Yep.
So that in their hand, that's to get control over people and where they go.
Right.
That's why when you at work, they want to know where you at, what time you clocked in. Then they want to keep tabs on you. You know?
Yep.
Your job got a camera. It goes to his phone. This nigga really got a demon to keep tabs on you, man.
Yeah.
Esau's got a overlording spirit on him.
Yeah. But guess what? The
This-
Lord got a tabs on him.
When the servant is you.
Yeah.
I saw servants upon horses and princes walking the earth.
Yep.
You know? You're the servant.
That's right, man.
Little dirty ass.
Yeah, what's that in Genesis 25? It said the elder shall serve the younger.
Right.
The first shall be last, and the last shall be first.
Right.
You know, like we are witnessing, the great decline of Babylon the Great, man. You know, this place don't got much time left.
No, all these
No?
useless eaters too. All they do is eat carbs.
That just shows Chief Ephraim's lack of faith.
Yeah. With a lack of the Lord dealing with them.
Yeah.
Because the lack of faith is a gift. So the lack of the gift is going to be shown through your speech.
That's right.
Like it says, a man's mind is manifest through his speech and what he laughs at.
That's right.
You know? So you always laughing at gay niggas. You know, you gotta be
Right.
like, yo, what's up
Right.
with you? When I see Mo shit, I put my thumb over the screen.
Yeah.
I don't even want to see the fucking color of your eyes,
I
bro.
report it.
Yeah, I don't
report
want to
that
see
shit.
it, man. Get
Not
away from me.
interested.
Sometimes I lose my appetite
Yeah, man.
with wickedness.
Back in Ezekiel 12 and 23, tell them therefore, thus said the Lord God.
Hey, I gotta tell you this.
Right.
Nah, we got, and then and Malik said, look, we're trying to tell you that what you're doing, you're showcasing this prophetic precept, bro.
Right.
You're showing that the Lord is not operating in your mind to say, oh, we don't got much time left.
Right.
It said, Romans 13. It said, can you get Romans 13 and 11?
Ooh, great precept. Remember now in a minute.
What are y'all about Shemel Shai?
We're
close, man.
Yes, bro. You can feel it. You can see it.
I want to see what he's gonna do to put and what he's gonna do to push the mark, and I'm excited to see who's gonna start coming out with the link in their neura that ain't blind or paralyzed.
Yeah.
Because the neura is a device to bridge you to AI, artificial idumia. So he created a sought after device to upgrade you in the flesh. And that device is known as the mark of the beast.
That's right.
What you got?
Romans 13.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 11.
Yeah.
And that knowing the time, that now is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe.
Even when we believe or think. Meaning we're waiting and expecting, but what we're waiting and expecting on, we don't have in particular day that we're expecting it. So you know it's near, but then even it's being told to us it's nearer than you think.
That's right.
You know?
Yes.
So don't fall into that 20 to 30 years from now, 1,000 years from now. And I did a lesson in the spirit, and I said, just like how that false prophet said, from 2 years it went to 70.
Yeah.
I said, well, since Allegay, he's and Bishop Nathaniel said 20 to 30.
Yep.
So I said, hey, I don't know how the Lord works. It's going to be less than 20 to 30.
Real, man.
And then look what just all happened.
Woo.
In the same year of the hope year of the destruction of Edom and our deliverance.
Come on,
and we
man.
need to be delivered. We legitimately need to be delivered out of this situation. And it ain't just because we don't got what you got. You know?
That's right, man. This place is fucking hell,
Hell,
man.
this is hell.
Like everything, it's called the Valley of the Shadow of Death for a reason.
Yep.
You know, this place is very lewd. It's demonic.
Dry bones.
You know, dry bones, and everybody here is with it.
Yep.
That's why y'all gonna see him.
Yep.
You know?
You got to start looking at people. Like you gonna get hip soon.
Yeah.
You know, you got to look around. You got to look around at everyone around you and understanding that soon they're about to get marked.
Yeah, man. Back in, you had more in Romans. Was that it?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was it.
Back in Ezekiel 12 and verse 23, it reads, "Tell them therefore, thus said the Lord God, I will make this proverb to cease."
Yeah, you Masons, you
Yeah.
Boulets, all right? You Hoochies, you BMs, you baby daddies,
Yeah.
all right? You Zealots, you Carnalites,
Yep.
okay? You false prophets, you sellouts, all right? You think you got more time.
Right.
What did James Brown say?
He said, "I need more time."
Nah, bro, it ain't operating. Can we get James 4 and start at 12 or 13?
Perfect precept, bro. Wadi about Shema Shai. Real, man.
Right, because we only out here with that winning lotto ticket floating in the air. We what's she saying that movie lotto ticket? Now you want to have my baby.
Bro, yeah, right. Try to trap him up.
Right.
That's why I say flee to Babylon should trap you.
Got to. You got to flee out the back door. You heard Playboy Cardi? Shout out to the YNs. You got that, brother? I think it's 12.
About when they say Lord's will.
What's 13 say?
Go now.
Yep. Read that loud, please.
This is the book of James, chapter 4, verse 13. Go to now, ye that say, today or tomorrow we will go in such a city.
Yeah, and that's general people. You know, today we're going over here. Tomorrow we're going to the Jazz Fest. We're going to Myrtle Beach.
Right. I remember a couple years ago, this white dude was telling me, he said next year I'm gonna go to California. And I was just playing, but I was like, you know, hey, well, what if the word? He said, come on, man, don't say that to me. But it's true.
Everyone's in this delusional fake funk. Like I rewatched the Truman Show yesterday, the movie. Mm-hmm. I said it should be called the Trauma Show.
Wow.
But in the movie, what Jim Carrey, what that movie was showing is how fake Babylon is set up and how it's nothing more than a stage.
Yeah.
And I actually had to learn that. Like when you go to work, depending on where you work at, you gotta actually play your part there. You have to actually be fake. You have to be phony. You actually have to, because this is how this place runs. Like the movie Civil War, they went into the store and the woman was acting like everything was okay.
Yep.
But key word, she was acting.
Yep.
She was acting. What's Esau doing? Esau's acting. Read that again, please.
Verse 13. Go to now, ye that say, today or tomorrow we will go into such a city and continue there a year and buy and sell
Buy and sell.
and get gain.
But now there's a prophecy that says the buying and selling is going to change.
Yep.
So you thinking about you getting gain, now for you to get that, you're going to have to do something to keep buying and selling.
Right.
You're going to have to do something to continue to be on the grid. So things are changing. Things are fastly changing and prophecy is approaching. And people are just going to have to go with it. Okay?
Right.
They're going to have to go with it.
And guess what? And they surely will.
Yep.
At the drop of a dime.
They're going to have
You know?
to.
Oh, it's 44.
They're going to have to. Proud ass vessels. Keep going. We got to keep reading it. I hope that's a military helicopter.
Whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow.
You don't know what's going to come tomorrow. You don't know what's getting ready to happen. You don't know what's out your front door. You don't know what kind of news you're getting ready to receive. You don't even know if you're about to keep your job.
Right.
You know? These people are proud in ignorance. They're ignorant, overweight, and proud. Unhealthy, out of shape, and proud. And your government don't even care about you.
Yeah.
Nero, who you know as Trump, is a cruel lord. He's signing off on everything. You know?
Yeah.
He's signing executive orders like he's being paid to give you an autograph.
Yeah.
You know?
Straight up, man.
And look at everyone around like the days of Noah.
Yeah.
We're not afraid, we're not tripping, but we're acknowledging it.
Yeah.
You know, people are getting married, expecting babies, loved ones, you know?
Yeah, man.
But there's Israel, Amalek, and Persia. Russia's getting involved. The U.S. now is talking about getting involved. And even if they come to some kind of agreement, it says when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction. So what if that sudden destruction happens right here in Babylon?
Right. For real, man.
What if that happens? They make a peace treaty in that land, but if something happens here in Chicago,
For real.
you know,
Shit right there.
or Jersey.
Yeah. Keep going.
14. Whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow.
Exactly. You don't know what's coming tomorrow. That's why Yahweh Shai said there's enough evil for today, man.
It really is.
Deal what you got to deal with and let today bring forth itself. But these other people, they're trying to bring forth that day. They're trying to bring it in with their their goals. You know, we're in vacation season, but we're also in the season of prophecy.
Right.
We're in the season of the Lord's will. We're in the season of judgment. It also says that there's a time and season for everything. A time of peace, a time for war, a time of love, a time for hate. So you got people thinking they're in a time of love, it's a time for war.
That's right.
You got people thinking it's a time of peace, it's a time for hate.
That's right.
Keep going.
For what is your life?
Exactly. What's your life being, human being? Like I was watching a time lapse of the nervous system being created by an embryo over a period of 16 hours. I said, man, that's high level. When you actually sit back and watch an embryo being developed in the womb, it's like art.
Yeah.
But the point is, you can't control it, you can't stop it. So who are you to think that you are above the creator? And that's what's out here. Pride. The creature is being reverenced more than the creator.
That's right.
So the creature got to get done away with. The creature
Right.
got to get put down, man. They got to. That's right. That's right.
Come on,
We
bro.
brothers. Oh, Michael. Maya Ka'ala. Huh? Yup. Yup. That's yep. That's right.
Right.
Let's go.
Right.
That's right.
That's the spirit, bro.
What were we just talking about?
Well, time of war. You know?
He said my name Michael.
Yeah.
He said, I think he said my name David.
Yeah,
Here we
bro.
go. Look at this big ass police truck.
Oh,
Look at that
shit.
big ass police. That's a big ass police.
bro.
And niggas ain't stopping that.
Come on, man.
That's what the spirit is conveying. Like, yo,
That's
there's
like a fucking mobile unit or or something.
like SWAT.
Yeah.
You know, ICE is out here
What they getting ready for?
and they're detaining U.S. citizens. So read James 4 again. That's the point. You don't know what's on tomorrow. You could be
Exactly.
waiting for Monday, and Monday never show up.
Yeah, bro. Just like that one time was back in 2020. Everything shut down like that. Literally. You know?
Let's read that loud.
James 4:14. Whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow.
These people don't know what's going to be on tomorrow. We have an expectation, and we don't even know what's going to be on tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know? So that's why he said what? You better get right. So we carry ourselves in a sobering manner. All right? Meaning when this camera's off, we're not just out here rioting in the daytime.
Right.
You know? So I chill in the house.
Right.
I'm in the house. I'm selling the AC.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, fuck that. I'm going out here with all these people. Something's going to happen.
Yeah.
Something's going to happen. They keep talking about sleepers. 911 2.0. You want to be caught up in a public setting when
Hell
that
no.
takes place?
Yeah.
Don't be caught up with these people.
That's why it's best to be holy.
Yeah.
Separate. You know?
You next to this Edomite, his arm on you, then a bomb goes off, and just his arm's on you. You know what I mean? Oh shit! Oh shit! America's about to get touched. Remember?
Yeah, bro.
She's about to get touched. See, they're careless because since they've existed in this generation, they've never seen nothing really happen to Babylon. So that pride keeps them. That demon of pride keeps them thinking nothing's gonna happen, and that's the best time to attack when you least expect it.
I got one for you.
Yep.
Real quick.
You break it down.
I got you. Isaiah 47 and verse 8. Therefore, hear now this, that thou art given to pleasures that dwellest carelessly. Right. You know, America is the land of the what? The land of the flesh, the land of the lust. Everybody here is careless because they have festivities and amenities that they can just, be distracted by.
Flock to.
Yeah, they're not,
Flaunting.
exactly. They're not worried about, America, Babylon, falling. They're not worried about World War III, Yahweh Shai returning.
They ain't been touched.
Jacob's trouble. They're not worried about, travail or being in distress.
They don't have to run anywhere.
Right.
They don't have to run in fear.
Right.
You know? It's like the drunk dude watching a UFC fight in his living room.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Right.
he feels like he could do it, but he's never had to get into a fight to showcase like, no, you can't fight, bro.
Right.
But they act like they can. That's the pride of creatures. That's literally the level we're dealing with. That's why a great humbling is getting ready to happen.
And it reads, that says in thine heart, I am and none else beside me.
You got it, bro.
I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children, right? Because America never been touched. But there's gonna be a time when America's gonna get touched, man. People are gonna be going crazy out here, ballistic, Jacob's trouble, right? You're gonna have men, doing things to women, and it's gonna be crazy out here. But look, right now it seems like it's normal because you can go to Starbucks, go to a wedding,
You got Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi, but soon shit's gonna change like that.
Because he's still selling you.
Yeah, you're right.
Just
right.
because he's still selling shit don't mean like everything's okay.
Yeah.
He's trying to get rid of back stock so he don't got to liquidate his business before he cashes out.
Yeah.
You people keep thinking because the light's on, someone's home.
Yeah, bro.
Just because he's still buying and selling don't mean everything's okay.
Yes.
You got AI running this shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And speaking of AI, the digital infrastructure is being laid out. While Esau is showing you, things about going there in Iran, over there in Amalek, but things behind the scenes is being laid out for what? The MOTB. And while things are being laid out, people are oblivious and gross darkness.
Why is AI taking over the world of business?
Come on, man. Right. Exactly. Let's see, where was I at? Okay, that was it.
All right. Yeah, did he finish James?
Oh, he gotta finish that.
That James 4 and 14 again?
Whereas James 4:14,
Thank you.
whereas you know not what shall be on the morrow.
You don't know what's happening tomorrow.
Right.
Like, remember when we went into slavery, there was a day where you was in the West Coast, you know what I'm saying? Like, there was day one.
Yeah.
Like, what that happened in October, now when you go online, it's, I think, over 300 and some days that they've been at war. So that was day one. Like the movie, what was that movie, Quiet Place?
Yeah.
It said day one.
Yeah.
28 days later.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's either someday or day one.
That's right. And that's why you said earlier, it says sudden destruction. You know?
Yep.
Why is Earth and Nations proud?
Yep.
Everybody here are proud, man. That's why we, I don't think we read it earlier, but Jeremiah 51, it says, oh, thou most proud.
Yep.
The Lord hates pride.
Yeah, and man.
Pride go before destruction, right? And man hates pride. You know? Keep going, bro.
Verse James 4 and 14.
Yep.
Whereas you know not what shall be on the morrow.
Even Yahweh Shai doesn't know the day of the Lord.
Come on.
He said, no man knows the time, hour, day, not even the angels in heaven, but
Right.
my Father.
And he's the one coming back.
And he's the one coming back.
Wait, come on, man.
So the best thing to do is just be sincere and humble.
Yes.
You know? Be sincere, be humble. Pray that the Lord keeps dealing with you, inspiring you. You know?
Yeah, man.
And the Lord is dealing with those after his heart. So it ain't just action. You know, like it's in mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's the day to day. That's why you repent.
Right.
That's who the Lord's dealing with. He ain't dealing with those showcasing themselves to be perfect.
Right.
Because I don't know where IUIC, where they got their dry cleaners from, but they come across as perfect.
Yeah.
But that's why Yahweh Shai said, outwardly you look like a whited sepulchre.
Yeah.
You know, outwardly you look good. But the Lord ain't dealing with the outward. It says the true hour, you know, where you those that worship the Father in spirit and in truth.
That's right.
That's what it's about.
That's right.
So don't fool yourself, man. Don't be trying to think because you're showcasing on camera that you're good, your skin's glowing, like the Elder Amwaz was saying in Boston. He was like, I don't care how you got coconut oil in your beard. For real.
Right.
You're marching, you're in synchronization.
That don't mean shit.
Pronunciating. That don't mean nothing.
That don't mean shit.
That don't mean nothing, man.
How's your spirit? You know? Keep going.
Verse 14. Whereas he know not what shall be on the morrow.
Yep. No, nobody know what's gonna happen tomorrow. Don't no one know what's gonna happen tonight. That's why it's the Lord's will. You don't know. People don't know, but they act like they do. They act like they could control it. They act like that's like the Truman Show. This nigga acts like he could turn day to night and night to day.
Yeah.
You know? Control a setting. Watch that movie. It's free on YouTube.
That's a great movie,
Yeah,
man.
bro.
Very spiritual.
Mad spiritual.
Very spiritual.
I'm like, this is the truth. But see, with us, what we're learning is to go back into Pleasantville, or whatever the hell it was called. You know? Keep going. So don't crash out, brothers. You know what I mean? Just
Crash in.
yeah, just keep dealing with it.
Yep.
Keep growing. Keep handling it. Because everything you're going through is some form or attribute that you're gonna need later on.
That's right.
Patience. People are gonna take the mark because of lack of patience.
Yeah.
It said in Rev 3,
Yeah.
here's my patience.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you can't handle patience now, how are you gonna handle it in that time?
Yeah. Everybody gonna act like Edomites in that time. Just
Yep.
like Esau was famished. He
Yep.
said, man, here's the birthright. You
Yep,
got it.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
That's why Esau is coming. That's why he wanna, push forth this mark to get his birthright
And
back.
women too.
Oh yeah.
Women are mentally weak.
Oh yeah, bro.
That time coming, bro, majority of women are gonna crack. And you're gonna find out that Instagram got your bitch.
Yep.
Didn't he say that? You're gonna find out Babylon got her. It's just a harsh reality. It's a harsh reality. Who would want that though? Ain't nobody want that. But Yahweh Shai said, remember Lot's wife.
Yeah.
So if you sisters pray that you ain't Lot's wife, meaning you're gonna look back as if there's something to look back to.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Verse 14.
Yep.
For what is your life? It is even a vapor
Yep.
that appears for a little time
Go.
and then
Vanish
vanishes
away.
away.
That's what we getting ready to see. These people here today, gone tomorrow.
For real, man.
They're gonna disappear like the cigarette smoke out of their body.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
All they do is fucking go to a hole in wall, drink in a dim lit room with overpriced, watered down drinks, and then they go in the back to this cage to smoke cigarettes and kiss on another nigga's woman.
Yeah, bro.
The fuck out of here, man.
Straight up.
There's more to life than Babylon.
Straight up.
You know? I'm on earth. I ain't just in America.
Right, man.
You people are in America. You in New York.
All right.
Bitch, I'm on earth.
Right, man. We are living on a whole planet in the middle of space right now. You know? This is real quick. 1 Thessalonians 5:1.
Which proves Babylon is vain.
Yeah.
What kind of phone you got? Don't let the vanity of this place suck you in, man. By a succubus.
But that's how this place is. Like, this place gets you, try to get your mind because of the
temple whores.
Yeah. The tangible, the tangible carnal things.
The rat race.
Yeah, bro. Tries to blind from, the truth.
Like Nosedive.
Yeah.
It's like in the show Nosedive and Black Mirror, everybody was subjugated to be fake so that they could be accepted socially.
Yeah.
You know?
And through what? A social credit score.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And it was digital.
And she wasn't even happy, and she had a smile to get a certain rating. So now, instead of you rating Uber, Uber's rating you.
Yeah. That's right.
So you being ostracized from society.
Yeah. 1 Thessalonians 5:1. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you.
Yeah, we're singing to the choir. You know, we don't do lessons for sensationalism. If you watch, you watch. At this point, we're seeking our own salvation. You know, sorry we ain't jumping around high enough, or there ain't someone to kiss our fucking shoe.
Right.
You know, shit, we out here hot, getting ready to go back to work.
Yeah.
While balancing, studying, being a better servant, and then we supposed to come out here to just to fucking entertain.
Yeah, man.
2 bombers moving the ball.
See? B-2 bombers. And why is Moab secretly flying planes into Persia?
Yep.
Why is Moab secretly flying planes into Persia? We don't know when the last video is gonna be.
That's right.
It says there'll be a famine of hearing the word.
That's right, man. And it reads, verse 2, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night.
Unexpectedly upon these people.
Ooh.
That's why Proverbs 1, we're gonna laugh at people. You know? We're gonna laugh at you. And then what gets me is the fact that after all that evil and wickedness, and now it's time for you to accept the punishment, now you expect mercy. You know? That's evil, man.
Yeah, bro.
That's evil. Because one thing that gets me is someone that ain't repentful. You know? Like you'll see some shit happen and with a man and a woman, and her response isn't repentful.
Yeah.
So it said, you ain't fruit me for repentance.
Yep.
And then the shit you do, we can't even forgive you for it. And then Yahushua said, there's sins on earth we can forgive, and other sins we don't gotta forgive.
Yep. That's right. And it reads, verse 3, for when they shall say these people are here.
But Jacob's trouble is gonna be very entertaining, man.
Yeah.
Jacob's trouble is gonna be very entertaining for you people.
Yeah, bro. I'm, speaking as a man, but I'm excited. I'm excited to see their reactions. When shit's the fan. Because for years and decades, starting off with with the apostles and elders, we've been telling you what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But that's why it's called the days of Noah. Because during Noah, he was preaching, building the ark, but they were scoffing at him.
They were right.
They were saying, "Oh, you're not about. Come on, man. Rain? Really? A flood? Come on."
And that was in the days of Noah. So in the days of Jacob's trouble, I don't know yet.
Ooh, that's right. But that's why Ezekiel 33 says, then they shall know that a prophet or prophets have been among them.
You gotta be ruthlessly righteous.
Got to.
That's just what it is. That's you
Gotcha.
seeking your own salvation. That's literally, what are we out? We're out here seeking our own salvation. We're out here mourning. We were reading Ezekiel. So majority of Jacob thinking everything gonna be prolonged.
Yeah.
Meaning they think, oh, I'll come back next week. You don't know if there's gonna be a next week.
Yeah. And what the Apollo Creed told Rocky,
There is no
tomorrow.
Meaning you gotta give it all today.
That's right.
You know? You don't you ain't know it was your last day on the job.
Right. Back in 1 Thessalonians 5:3, for when they shall say peace and safety.
See, so there could be some agreement. Trump is in talk of bringing peace. Okay, that don't change nothing. Because either way, we still need the mark to come.
Yeah.
So Amalek in Persia is a key component to prophecy, but for the destruction of Babylon, we need the mandatory marking though. So it don't matter if they call for peace or there's some kind of sign. And that'll keep Jake in the, see, we told y'all. Good. Keep telling us.
Well, Jake's that are like that means you want to stay in captivity. That means that you don't want Yahushua to return.
Nope.
You still want to be a slave, man.
Yes.
Fuck
Yeah,
that shit,
yeah.
man. Like, we understand that we gotta accept us being captivity, but also too, I'm not trying to be here forever. Hell no, man.
Nah.
Fuck that.
Nah.
I got so you gotta try and tell me I have to have children here and raise them and watch my kids? No, fuck that.
Now Esau
Hell no.
and Eve is gonna raise them.
Right.
And then Eve
Right.
gets your son a job where she works, and now the fucking her white husband
Yep.
is gonna be teaching your son.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't get hired because you got a criminal record because you got arrested for not paying child support.
Oh my gosh, bro. This place is so fucking wicked.
Yeah.
Like the
I see-
judgment from Yahweh Shema Shai is overly justified. I truly see why this place is gonna burn.
Yep.
But before it burns, it's gonna be plague sin.
Yep.
You know, a famine, cannibalism. You know, civil unrest.
Yep.
Egyptian versus Egyptian. You know, just wait and see, man.
Just to name a few.
Yeah, right. That's a few. You know.
Just to name a few for you.
Back in First Thessalonians 5:3, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Like that movie, escape. You know, Esau, you're not about to escape. Jacob, if you're not the elect, you're not going to escape. Now, of course, you're going to be good in the kingdom, but on this side, you're not going to make it if you're not the elect.
Yep.
You know? And it says right here, it says, as travail upon a
Europeans seek digital sovereignty.
Oh, boom.
See that?
Call lawyer about Shema
See?
Shai, about Shem Hakodash.
See? Look, we're like spiritual weathermen.
That's right.
You may not want to hear the weatherman because the weather's nice, but
Right.
you're gonna want to hear from that weatherman when the weather gets bad.
That's right. It says, as travail upon a woman with child.
Yep.
Damn. And you know, like once that child comes, ain't no turning back.
Once the labor starts,
Once the labor comes, ain't no turning back.
the birthing pains.
Yeah.
And she starts dilating.
Matter of fact, it's Luke 16.
Yep. And she starts dilating. In Matthew 24, it says birth pains, verse 8.
24 and 8.
Well, I'm just quoting it for your precept. You're going to Luke.
Yes.
But in Matthew 24, all the beginning of sorrows,
Mm-hmm.
I believe the NLT says birth pains.
Oh, yes, it does. Thank you. Yes, it does. Yep.
So that's equating to the judgment coming.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which pregnancy is the closest thing next to death without dying.
Mm-hmm.
There's gonna be a lot of death. That's why it says those that are alive and remain. And that word alive or remain means to survive, and survive means to live after one's death.
Woo.
What Akon say? I'm a survivor.
That's right.
You know. That's why I said 10,000 on your right hand and 1,000 on your left. You know. Or he says, clowns on the left of me, jokers on the right.
Yeah.
Or the joke's on you.
That's right.
You got it?
Yep. This is John. I thought it was Luke. This is John 16 and verse 20. Verse 20. Verily, and it's the words of Yahweh Shai. Verily, verily, I say unto you that ye shall weep and lament.
I was literally thinking of that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
Yahweh
beautiful.
Shai.
I've been weeping and I've been lamenting, man. You know, because it gets frustrated.
Yeah.
It gets vexing. You know, dealing with incompetent leaders.
Oh man.
You know, dealing with people trying to help, but it hurts.
Dealing with fools.
It's irksome dealing with these foolish people, man.
You know.
Dealing with the ignorant nature. You know, that shit drive you, bro. Dealing with people on a day-to-day.
Oh,
like, you
man.
need a full-time job, but even that 40-hour work week be like hell, bro.
Yeah.
40-hour work week is hell, man. And you need it.
Yeah.
So-called.
And then you be like, man, it's only Wednesday.
Yeah.
You know, but it's bittersweet because you know the days are going faster.
Yeah.
You know, so that's good. You know.
Yep.
John 16 and 20.
And people that got a 9-to-5, 40-hour work week are in slavery.
Oh yeah.
You're in a cubicle all day. You know, you're just stuck there. You look at the hours people got to work. Who the fuck want to work 11 to 8?
Ah, damn.
Now imagine if you got children.
Ah, man.
This
Damn.
place ain't set up for people, man.
Nah, man.
It's set up to grind people up and spit them out.
Yes.
And then plant the remnant so new fucking people can grow up to be more slaves.
There you go.
It's a matrix. All you are is a battery. All you are is a cashier. All you are is a hostess.
Yeah.
You know?
And then like when you're in grade school, high school, so on and so forth, they just teach you bullshit. They don't teach you how to, get your credit up or how to, live in this society. You know?
You're better slave.
Exactly, man. They're not teaching nothing real. What the fuck is earth science gonna do for me out here in Rochester, New York, and out here in Babylon? Nothing.
Serious.
Back in John 16:20, and it says that ye shall weep and lament.
So we've been weeping and lamenting,
Mhm.
which is also Ezekiel 9, where it says, mark them that sigh and cry.
Right.
So we're supposed to be sighing and crying. We ain't supposed to be doing marriage counsel.
Hell no.
Like, I mean, I ain't trying to diss him or nothing, but when I was getting ready to do this lesson today, Maccabees TV, who is that? Priest Daniel Allah?
Yeah.
He was doing a part 2 about marriage. And I'm like, bruh, a lot of these
Marriage.
men and women, they're gonna break up in Jacob's trouble. What the fuck we talking about? What about the marriage of the Lamb?
Exactly.
What about Yahweh Shai's wedding? What about that?
Right.
What about having on the wedding garment? When you really think about it and look, like, that's why there needs to be a famine of the word.
Yes, bro.
You know, watch when the Lord takes his word from this place.
Yes, man.
And now you stuck with it.
For real.
Now you stuck with her.
And when you look at it, a lot of these jakes in the community of Israel, they don't have the Holy Spirit.
Nope.
That's why they're saying bullshit like that. You know, about the MOTB. You know, why are you questioning MOTB?
But you don't prophesy.
You know? Come on, man.
You don't even prophesize yourself.
There's a lot of false prophets in the community of Israel, man.
There's a lot of Hebrew Israelites that get funding from Esau.
Yeah. Back in John 16:20, it says, but the world shall rejoice, and ye shall be sorrowful.
See, the world been rejoicing. They get their banquets, they get their awards, you know, they get their accolades, they get their big checks.
Yep.
You know, the big old check. You know, everybody's just playing.
Yeah.
Everybody's playing, they're fronting, they're acting. You know, it says they shall rejoice over you in
Yeah.
Rev 11.
Yeah.
You know, send gifts one to another.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We're dealing with the same people that will act like there ain't a march taking place around them. Are you gonna get the filet?
Yeah.
I seen this video of these heathens. They were like in this cabana, wherever the restaurant was,
Yeah.
and everyone's marching around them. And the fucking Edomite woman is trying to talk to the girl across from her, saying, "Are you gonna get the pie?" Like,
Wow.
and I'm like, you see that? So they really want to have a blind eye.
Yeah.
They're really trying to have a blind eye to what's happening.
Yeah.
That's because their world's ending.
Right.
That's why these people are acting like that. Because it's a fucking last call of alcohol,
Right,
man.
bro.
Ain't no more wine of Babylon being poured out here. Going back, you said having children here is getting your child drunk off Babylon.
Yeah, bro. Come on, man. And it reads, verse 20, but your sorrow shall be turned into joy.
Thank you. So we don't gotta wait 1,000 years. We don't gotta wait 30 more years.
Oh, man.
Our sorrow is getting ready to turn to joy. And then all week, Satan been messing with me. All week. All week, Satan been messing with me. And I'm like, Israelite ran, bro. Like, what the
Right.
fuck? What you talking about?
Right.
Like, but that's why, because things are happening.
Yeah, man.
So, you know, that's what Satan's job is. They gotta mess with you before you go through that door. That door of progress. You know? Keep going.
John 16:21, a woman, when she is in travail, hath sorrow.
Yup. I hate you.
Yeah.
Right? She ain't just, it ain't easy, because she's been punished right now with the pain of childbirth because she listened to the white man.
Yeah. Yep.
But he was a man of color in the garden, and then
Yeah.
he got the mark of Cain after he killed Abel. But we're saying, because it says that old serpent, you know? So he's probably a light-skinned nigga with blue eyes.
Right. And it reads, but as soon as she's delivered to
You know that nigga from Traffic? The one, he be on like the black movies. He got the light eyes. He was, I think, in Takers.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
What, T.I. and shit? Yeah, that nigga. He look like him. John 16:21, a woman when she is in travail, see that word travail been popping up all day. It says, has sorrow because her hour is come.
It ain't him, but this,
Right, that's close
this
enough.
close.
That's probably his cousin.
Right. Can you say Sagittarius?
It says, but as soon as she's delivered of the child.
Listen, we're in a time where you're gonna be standing on what you've been taking heed to.
Yep.
You know, like we're in a different time, man. There may be situations that you yourself are gonna have to deal with. Like brothers may not always be together.
Right.
You know, you're gonna have to make a decision. You know, we're in a different time, man. We're in a way different time. What are we gonna do when the EMP hits? There ain't no more watch later videos.
Real.
Hey, the mark is a C-hip. It's the Nura. Okay, and other companies are doing it. The Third World War is taking place, and America's gonna fall in it.
That's right.
NATO's gonna turn on America. And I can see NATO turning because of them siding with Amalek. You know, I don't know. Because Amalek is not in treaty with NATO.
Right.
So America's in league with Amalek and NATO, but NATO ain't in league with Amalek. You know?
Yeah, man. Plot twist.
Yep. It says they that bring you to the border.
That's right. That's right, bro. And it reads back in John 16 and 21. But as soon as she is delivered of the child, she remembereth no more the anguish.
Like when Yahweh Shai said it is done.
That's right.
You know? That's how we feel. We're just waiting for it to be over. Dealing with it, but we're ultimately waiting for it to be over.
That's right.
You wait for Kent to be over. You wait for your lesson to be over. You wait for Jacob's trouble to be over. Better is the end.
That's right.
You waiting for Babylon to be over. So you in the movie, you waiting for the movie to be over.
Yeah.
You know? We waiting.
Yeah.
We waiting on the world to change. You know?
It was says in Habakkuk, though it tarry, wait for it.
Yeah.
It shall surely come.
We waiting, man.
You know? We not in our time, we in the Lord's time.
Right.
Everything's happening for a reason. You know, but things have to play out here on earth on the earthly level. So it may seem like a minute, but it's happening like that.
It is happening quick.
You know?
Even while it's happening quickly, we still don't want to be here.
That's right, bro.
You know?
For real. Got precept?
What you got, bro?
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 33 and 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure.
Right, of our times.
Yep.
You know, because what you're consuming and spiritually eating right now is going to determine, you know, like your mindset in Jacob's trouble.
You know what they're eating? Jake's eating the daughters of music.
Yeah.
I'm watching Eve dance, gyrate and dance. Her son's right there. She ain't listening to DMX.
Right.
She probably listening to Stallion.
Yeah.
You know, India.
Sexy Dead.
Yeah, whatever their names are.
Yeah, man.
That's what she's listening to.
Yeah,
and
man.
that's what she gonna have to take with her in that day of trouble. You know?
Yep.
Read that again. There's a lot of meat in that.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 33 and 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time.
So not only knowing that you're a Hebrew Israelite, but knowing the prophecies that come with it,
right,
and the prophecies that pertain to you as a Hebrew Israelite, and what's going to happen to Edomites.
Right.
Because people, when they see what happens to Edomites, when they see what happens to the babies, that they're not gonna have stability.
Ooh,
when you start seeing things happen and it's a limp body, you know,
yeah, bro.
The body, little body,
you're gonna fucking lose it.
Hell yeah, bro. That shit's gonna get raw, man. You gonna be able to handle that?
Come on. It says the slain of the Lord shall be many.
Yup.
What's that? That's talking about judgment. You know, it says slay utterly old and young.
Yes.
You know, utterly, that word is in the same realm as meaning brutal.
Yeah.
Harsh judgment. You know?
That's why it says, knowing the fact that it says no one's ever perished being innocent.
Yes.
So you're not gonna say why God. In Jacob's trouble, a lot of people are gonna denounce who they call God.
Yeah.
Like years ago, I did a lesson where this Christian couple, shout out to Christian couples.
Christian mingle.
Yep, Christian mingle. All right. They had picked up a hitchhiker, and he asked them, they're like, yeah, we're Christians. So he pulled a gun out, and he said, are you ready to die for Jesus? And his fucking wife cracked, and their husband driving was like, babe, like, why you broke so easy? So she pretty much showed like that they're not ready to die for the Lord.
Yeah. Like you said earlier through the spirit, that the woman is the weaker vessel.
Yep.
You know, the husband, he said, yeah, you know, but she, come on, babe, but she broke.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Come on, man, shit about to get hectic out here.
Everyone's cards getting ready to get pulled.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. She ain't staying character.
Yeah. But that's why he says that the letters, Paul said, are you made of wood, some hay, wood, silver, gold, wood, hay, precious stone, silver, or gold, you know?
Let's get couple more. That's camp.
You got to correct this out, but I think you had a precept, right?
Uh,
Was it more in Ezekiel?
There's a marriage going on right there.
I'm sorry, Isaiah.
Oh, that
I'm sorry.
he finished
Isaiah.
it.
Oh, that was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Back in John 16 and 20,
There's a marriage right there.
it's always fucking marriage down
Well, it's the
here.
days of Noah.
Right.
So we're really seeing the movie, but now is the time where you got to play your role, man.
Yeah.
You got to play your role, man.
Yeah.
You got to be out. You got to play your role, bro. Don't be acting out on emotion, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just deal with it. Cause I keep reminding myself, man's goings unto the Lord, even if it's something I don't like.
Yeah, bro.
I'm like,
yeah.
man, man's goings unto the Lord,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Leave me alone.
Yes. But that's why it says being spiritually minded is life in peace.
Yep.
But the only way you're going to get that spiritual peace is through Yahweh Shai.
Yep.
Because he gave us a peace of mind.
Woo.
You know, he said it. You got something?
This is Ecclesiasticus 2 and 5. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
So now you have to rewire your mind when situations are happening. Then that means I'm an acceptable man.
Ooh, that's right.
That means I'm accepted. You know, many are called, few are chosen.
right.
But you also said you're chosen in the fire.
That's right.
That's why it's the fourth man in the fire.
That's right.
You know, it was Yahweh Shai, but you had who they called Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, Azariah, Mishael, and
Hananiah.
Hananiah. Thank you.
All them fucking hyenas.
Yeah.
Keep going, bro.
You want me to keep reading?
Was that it?
That was it.
What did you read?
That was Sirach 2, right?
Oh yeah, that was good. I mean, you
Yeah.
could really read on down. Let's get some more prophecy though.
Okay,
Did
gotcha.
you finish Ezekiel 12?
No, I didn't actually.
Okay.
Let me get back in that.
All
Let me finish just real quick.
Okay.
Back in John
Break it down.
16, got you, and verse let's see here, 21, and it says, "She remembereth no more the anguish for joy that a man is born into the world, and ye now therefore have sorrow, but I will see you again." Right now, you know, we are patiently waiting, and patient means what? To suffer. So right now, us being in captivity, we are suffering while waiting upon Yahweh Shai. Us knowing what's about to happen, right? Because the scriptures say, with much wisdom is much sorrow, much grief, right? But there's bittersweet to that. The sweet is that Yahweh Shai is going to come back and deliver us, right?
Yeah, it says in a day of prosperity is a forgiveness of affliction.
Yeah,
And then Revelation 21, it says, I make all things new.
right.
So soon our tears are gonna be wiped away, man.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? I complain, bro.
Yeah.
I'm a complaining brother. I fucking complain. That shit ain't right. Meaning like we understand it, but in the midst of it,
Yeah.
you still see the faults of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Like even the other day, man, I was at work, I was sweating. I was like, man, hey, soon ain't gonna be no sweat upon that brow anymore.
And that's the curse
That's
of Adam.
Right, exactly. You know, sweating, being in captivity, working.
Hell
We're
yeah.
not gonna sweat in the kingdom.
I sweat easy in
Come
this
on,
flesh.
man. We're not gonna come get out of breath in the kingdom.
Well, it says the priests are not even allowed to sweat, and that was before the kingdom.
Yeah.
That was, I think, the rebuilding the second temple,
Yeah.
which Allegate tried to use that
Allegate.
as a precept to say that the Levites are going to teach Israel in the kingdom.
That's not even in the scriptures.
Look what
dumb
happened
nigga.
to that nigga. Look what happened to that Mo.
Come on, man. Back in John 16 and 22, but I will see you again.
Thank you, Yahweh.
Right.
Shai.
Just like the book of Acts, the angels told at the time the disciples before they became apostles, he said there was like the same way you seen Yahweh Shai leave, the same way he's coming back.
Chariots.
You know, right?
Chariots, man. Rakabium.
Yeah.
Those are chariots. We're waiting on the chariot. What we say? Rakabium Shal Yasharala.
That's right.
Chariots of Yasharala.
That's right.
What you got, bro?
This is going back to what you said. You're complaining.
Yeah.
This is the book of Psalms 34 and 17.
Mm.
The righteous cry, and the Lord heareth,
Mm.
and delivereth them out of all their troubles.
So you're supposed to cry. You're supposed to complain. Y'all
Yeah.
brothers know I complain. I like positivity, but I'm gonna call shit out though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But the thing is, you complain about wickedness,
Right.
confusion,
Right.
injustice.
You're not complaining about
You know?
a girl.
Yeah, bro.
You hear us complain about a woman, it's her wickedness. You got Jake walking by with his fucking half-naked woman with her features out, like she's selling mixtapes from her trunk. Like,
Yeah,
come
bro.
on, bro. Like, get your shit together. Like, get in order. But we understand this is necessary evil, but we're also supposed to complain to the Lord about it.
That's right.
You know? Like, we live simple lives, but it'd be like a lot, it'd be like entertaining. Like, You just try to
Man.
go to work and go home and be like, nah,
Yeah. Like the scene in what's that movie with Kane and Old Dog? What's it called again?
Men of Society?
Yeah, the water. In the beginning, he said, "Man, you think you're just gonna go in the store and buy a beer?
Nope.
Come on, man, like shit."
But
you
that's
know?
why the scriptures say, go down the way with a bold fellow.
Right, exactly.
Loke dog,
Yeah, Loke dog.
you know?
Right.
That
Why
nigga
in?
was, yeah, he was a bold fellow. He said he was young and black. He ain't give a fuck. We don't hang around people like that.
Hell no.
I don't hang around. I don't even talk to people like that. You know?
Back in John 16 and verse 22, and it says,
And the Lord's making separation.
yeah,
Who he's dealing with and who he's not. You know? Who are sincere, who are not. Who are his servants, who are his sheep.
yep,
You got to watch these other camps that just push a black message to you.
yeah,
You know? If the Lord is dealing with you in the spirit, then that's who we're going to feed and
Exactly.
attempt to edify to the best of ability given to us.
yeah.
You know?
Oh, it's just a reminder.
Okay.
All right, sorry. John.
Okay.
Yeah.
We not in the time. Hey, come here, hurry up.
Yeah,
Your spirit ain't on you. Okay.
yeah.
There was a time where we didn't get it. We didn't have it. We didn't hear it. No one pulled me as in the flesh. I knew it was Masons.
Oh, wow.
No one pulled me in the flesh.
Get that.
Sir! There it is. Got it. I just said, look,
I had a wave at him.
yeah. See, we said we ain't calling you over for the gospel. We're going to show that shirt.
Yeah, man.
Crowd about just stand there with your index on your temple. Like the IUIC thumbnails.
Yeah. Nate.
Boule, we just talking about Boule.
Oh, wow. That's the spirit.
So there's a Mason lodge going on.
Wow.
Those are they're having a Mason banquet.
And look, they always bald.
Yep. Yeah. They got a lot of food too. They have a lot of food, you know?
Yep.
Give their little things. They probably got businesses they work for, and then they just go back home.
That's it.
They're not at Diddy parties, you know? But they're sympathizers for a secret society of business.
Yeah.
It's business.
Yeah, bro. It's levels of selling out in
Yep.
Babylon.
Yep.
You know? That's why, like, for example, that's why they have, like, degrees in masonry.
Yeah.
And I believe, what was the highest one? 33?
As they say.
You know?
It goes a little higher. We could go back in the books, but
This shit is
it gets deep.
Yeah, bro.
Like the internet. You can go on it. You know there's a difference between the dark web and the deep web? The deep web is just when you go with the padlock.
Oh, wow.
And you're going through like passwords. That's the deep web. And then the dark web is a different place for certain things.
Damn.
So even the internet itself is deep. You know?
Man. Back in John 16 and 22.
That's why we go one deep.
Right.
We don't go too deep. You don't think we've been around people that thrown up Mason hand gestures us to see if we're that too? You know? People be trying to, we see shit out here, but we ain't sell out though. That's the difference. You got a lot of sellouts out here. You got agents out here, Satanists is out here, okay? But the Lord said the gates of hell should not prevail.
That's right.
Remember a nigga came up years ago throwing all kinds of shit up at us, right over there.
Yeah, yep.
And everything he kept doing, we said, we're not with that.
Yeah. And then as soon as the spirit called it out, he left immediately.
Yep.
Come on, man. Who the fuck sent you?
Yep. He's like one of them slaves from Tales from the Hood that jumped off the portrait. The
Yep.
puppets. Keep going.
He did, though.
The goblin.
Yeah. John 16 and 22. It says, "And your heart shall rejoice, and your joy no man take it from you."
They're not gonna be able to take away our joy when judgment's coming. But these people are not gonna be joying. They're gonna look at you like you're crazy.
Yeah.
You know? Hey, Eve's not ready to see Edomite babies get judged.
Oh, no.
She's not ready to see Edomite babies get judged, and Jake ain't ready to see Eve get judged, man.
Yeah, bro.
They're not ready for that. They're not ready to witness the will of the Lord.
Yeah.
It says understanding the will of the Lord. They're not ready for it, man.
Yeah.
They're not being built up. And you got this family program with IUIC where it's like you could bring your children, and you could dress up, serious. And it's like, bro, you're not preparing the people.
Yeah.
You know? It's just like another Christian organization.
Yep. They're in the house of mirth.
Yep.
You know, all they want to do is celebrate, you know, and just party and bullshit. That's all, man.
Get married.
Yeah.
They're acting like they're in literal ancient Babylon again. Because in ancient Babylon, we were told to build and marry, you know? Now, it's nothing wrong with you having what you got. We're not against our women or marriage, but even you with me, you know, I'm still talking to you the same way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Y'all, you know?
Yeah.
I'm still gonna talk to you like, hey. Like, okay, yup, yeah. Come on. We need to do this, we need to do that. Lock in. Pray for me. Shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Let's keep going.
Back in Ezekiel 12 and verse 22.
You building an ark? Shit.
I'm sorry, verse 23.
You better rub my back,
Right.
right?
Real.
You sore. You know? That's why the Apostle Har said the real punishment outside of captivity is us not having our women. Because you could catch all type of hell, but you get to go home and rub feet together, you know? Release yourself. Come on, man. So you got Israelite men that are in captivity and then still don't even have their counterpart of their woman. Because a woman is a help me. This fucking overweight security guard. My bad. This fucking looks like a bad, you know, you put like condiments in plastic.
Oh,
and
yeah,
you
yeah.
Squeeze it real tight.
Yeah.
That nigga look like proud as hell. He was probably the man 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
The people are stuck in 2001.
Yeah.
So something happened from 2000 to now where people still believe they're like in 05. They still in their mind think they're like on MySpace.
What's that mirth? You know, they think like, okay, because we know the mirth is gone, but they think the mirth is still here.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
That shit is done, man. You know?
Keep going. Shalom, Yabashim Shai, Bashim Kakodas Barakatam.
Shalom.
To the brothers and the very few sincere sisters. Shalom to the house of David, Bayaf Dawadah, the elect, the hopeful elect, the 1/3, which consists of men, women, and children. You know, the Lord's raising up a government. We got the body of believers. You know, we inside looking out collectively together. You know?
Back in Ezekiel 12 and 23.
You hear that music? That must be the Jazz Fest.
It's probably down there.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, jazz means spirit.
It does.
We're singing the Lord's song.
Right.
You know, we're singing the Lord's song.
Back in Ezekiel 12 and verse 23, tell them therefore, thus said the Lord power, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel.
Meaning you're not gonna be able to comment no more and try to disannul the lesson.
Right.
You know, you're not gonna be able to scoff. You're not gonna be able to scoff anymore. You're not gonna be able to get away with your little seeds of deception. That's like what Chief Ephraim did. That's like saying it's prolonged. Or the $1 million question. Like the one ex-member of Genesis who fucking hopped around to all these camps said, how can they hip everybody?
Yep.
Well, the known world got hit with the Maxine Waters.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, bro. Speed jab. Oh, excuse me, my bad, slot.
It's all good.
I didn't mean to say that.
We boxers.
Right.
How they know? Maybe we box.
Right.
Can't have a speed jab?
Right.
But what happened to hyperspeed?
Yeah.
Remember Trump said that?
Yeah, yep.
See, you gotta.
Yep.
We were talking. You gotta start re-remembering what you already been given too. There's a lot of things that you gotta remember the Lord already gave you to still apply now.
Yeah.
You know.
Back in Ezekiel 12 and 23, and it reads, but saying to them, the days are at hand.
Yeah, but they don't think it's gonna rain.
Right.
That's why it looks like the Truman Show. That's why it looks like normal. It feels like normal to them. It feels like it's just another Saturday to them. See? And Esau does a good job as a director. This place is like North Korea.
Right.
With real people though. Like North Korea sets up props. You know? Imagine how these people gonna act when no phone works.
Woo.
When you ain't got your phone.
Man.
He did something with that social media with rapid scrolling. He's overstimulated you.
Yeah.
So now you can't put your phone down without checking it.
Yeah.
I'm guilty of that. You randomly, you chilling, you go,
Right, me too.
Shit.
Right.
shit, huh?
Right.
Yeah, lamb. You ain't looking on shit, bam.
Right.
This is shit. I use it, but shit, sometimes I said, I need a fucking detox on social media, man.
Yeah.
I've been seeing too much, but we're watchmen, so even with being a watchman, you gotta like, make sure you got, you know, like you gotta watch what you watching, bro. Remember I was saying that? I was like, yo, there's certain shit I gotta, I'm like, man, fucking put Ari Spears on or
Yeah.
something. You gotta put on some comedy.
Yeah.
I watch fucking cat videos with puppies and shit. You got to do that sometime, because you're seeing children, you're seeing Persia, you know, you're seeing pictures of Edomites cheek to cheek with a crying Guatemala baby that you know he did something to. So you got to fucking lower your blood pressure, man.
Yeah, bro.
Because we see a lot of shit, and we ain't even seen half of it either.
Right.
You got to watch what you watch before you go to bed. You know what I mean? I was like, let me put spell on. I said, I shouldn't be watching this before I go to bed right
man.
now. You know what I mean? I anoint myself. You could have just went to bed. So you even got to be careful with you, because it says the dreams are pretty much the business of the day. So a lot of times you'll dream about things that that are on your mind or you even experience.
Yeah.
You know?
That's why you gotta protect your mind from certain things.
You gotta protect your neck.
You can't, you know. Back in Ezekiel 12 and verse 23, the days are at hand.
They are, man. They are. We're waiting to see. One, there's gonna be some more strikes, attacks, as well as uproars. And there's going to be something that's going to be leading to the excuse of the mandatory marking.
That's right.
All right? You know who she's following.
Right. And it says, and the effect of every vision, for there shall be no more any vain vision.
Yeah, oh, no more vain vision.
Yeah.
No more 1,000 years. All right, look at this power couple right here.
Wow.
Look at Eve. Look who she following. That ain't no white woman with the matching head wrap. Okay? That's what happens through the Willie Lynch letter and curses. Light skin versus dark skin. So now light skin with white skin.
Yep.
You see? You see it? That's her leader.
Yep.
That's her leader.
That's her massa.
That's her massa right there.
It's the massa.
Now she gonna eat. She gonna go home and eat raw ground beef on toast with onions and bell peppers.
Right.
Saying my mom made this.
Oh my God.
We don't
bro.
trip. We not tripping. My bad. We get you. We not tripping though. That's reality. You know? That's reality. You got Esau right here. The hunter. The camouflage. You see? Everybody playing their part.
Yeah, bro.
What you got cries about? Everybody playing their part.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 23. Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are issues of life.
Yep.
Are the issues of life.
Yep. So your mind, your mind, okay, is like the sponge. And in the mouth speaking is like what rings out of it.
Right.
So what are you filling your mind up
Right.
with? You know?
That's why how I said whatever comes out of man, he's defiled. Like if you speaking like some false doctrine or
Yep.
you know call upon other gods, then you defiled.
Yep.
You know?
Exactly.
Speaking that bullshit.
That's why you got to be careful even with watching too much folly.
Yep.
Or what folly you're watching. You know, you watch it like we're going back, but you got to be careful. Like the drill music, like shit got spirits on it.
Yeah, bro. Hey,
Excuse me.
They clone Tyrone who showed you that.
Yeah.
You know?
That as soon as they changed the music, the Jake started fighting. And this Edomite I worked for, he kind of looked like him. He was he had a construction business, but he also was a bouncer on the side. And he said the club that he worked at, he would specifically tell the club owner to remove this song from the jukebox because every time they play it, a fight breaks out.
Wow.
So what do you think, man?
Wow.
I'm not gonna go and sip some yayan and then play
Lil John.
head buses.
Right.
You
Come
know?
on.
You just chilling with your woman. Knock her head. You can't do that, bro. You can't be like that.
Nah.
You gotta even it's so real. You gotta be in a good mood when you sip.
Yep.
You can't be sipping because you're angry.
Yeah, bro.
It's gonna engulf it.
Yeah.
You know? We're in way different times.
That's why you work out and listen to certain music.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because it gets you hyped.
Yep.
It gets you up.
Yep.
That's right.
Exactly.
You know?
Let's keep going.
Back in Ezekiel 12 and 24, for there shall be no more any vain vision.
Yep. No more. I think or this or rapture. You know, no more Book of Enoch. No more Jubilee. Okay. No more of this weird TikTok shit.
Yeah.
And a lot of shit on TikTok, I don't trust. Like you got like there's shit like this woman. She said Native Americans they're gonna be deported. And I looked that shit up. That shit wasn't true. Gad got legalized as citizens in 1924 under the Snyder Act.
Yeah.
But look how long it took. But the point is, now you running off with it, sending it to brothers, and that shit ain't even true.
That's why you gotta fact check things.
You gotta be careful with videos you're doing.
Yeah. And that's why now you got a lot of videos that look real, but it's fucking AI.
AI, bro.
You know?
So when are they gonna start making Hebrew Israelite AI videos? Why is there influx of Jake AIs?
Yeah.
Why is there an influx of Jake AIs with beautiful so-called black women?
Mm-hmm.
You seen them?
Yeah.
She was doing one about her eyelashes, her walking on the beach, and if, at first glance you might think that that's real. So why are they influencing you with AI-generated black people?
Right. Yep.
They could literally make us AI, bro.
Literally.
All right?
Affect Jake's movements.
They're trying to blame you. The accuser. All Esau's got is the blame game, and they're gonna come down. They could come down right now. All right, what you gonna? What I do? I didn't do nothing. But they're gonna arrest you. This thing got irritable bowel syndrome, but he's proud and he's arresting you. You know what I'm saying?
It's like this movie I saw back in the day called The Agent of the Body Snatchers.
Oh yeah.
Where people go to sleep and wake up, and you got this fucking replica right next to you.
Wow. Damn, I gotta watch that.
AI, bro.
Well, I remember before you know, it was normally called AI. Remember that it was called deepfake.
Yep.
Remember?
Yeah.
And they show you that in the movie Manchurian Candidate.
Yeah.
They have framed Denzel. He said that wasn't me going through, you know, the beepers and shit, whatever it's called. You know?
But if Esau says it was, then it is.
Right. For face value.
So when Esau starts blaming us, expect Jake to believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be surprised if your own mother turn on you. Can we get Luke 21:16? Don't be surprised if your own family turn on you. Your own madre turn on you. You know?
Yep.
Watch. People gonna turn on you. Co-workers.
Yeah.
Let them come to your job. They're not gonna be like, hell nah.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Your own mother gonna say, mijo, how could you?
Yep.
How could you?
But nobody ever questioned Esau.
Nope. Because he's the blamer.
Yep.
So when he blames, it's like a carnal advantage. Now it looks like now you gotta explain with the burden of proof.
Right.
But what makes his validity true?
Right.
You got it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we about to be out of here.
Somebody get.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 16. And ye shall be betrayed by both parents and brethren and kinsfolk.
Let's read that again.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 16.
Yep.
And ye shall be betrayed both by parents.
But you got Israelites pushing the family life, being a family man, and it's sad to say, but that family potentially could be turned on you, man. You know?
Yeah. A lot of division is coming.
Yep.
It's already here. You know?
Yeah, there's a lot of division here. Keep going.
And brethren and kinsfolk.
Brethren and friends, which are what? Kinsfolk. Friends shall fight like enemies. Keep going.
And friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death.
And you're going to be put to death. They're going to be put to death through Esau's orders of reporting you.
You probably had a bad thought.
Right.
Good thought.
Right. But the point is that you potentially could be betrayed by loved ones, man.
Yeah, bro.
All right? That's how real this truth is. You could be betrayed by loved ones.
Yeah. And that's why Yahweh Shai said, you know, the real family is what? The brotherhood.
Yep.
Who's my mother? Who's my
Let's
brother?
get that. Is that Matthew 12?
Yeah, 12 and like the
39,
45.
29? Get that.
Matthew 12.
Who is my mother? See?
It's like in the 40s or something.
Yeah, go to Matthew 12 and start at 46.
Yeah, for the water.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 12 and 46. While he yet talked to the people, behold, his mother and his brethren stood without.
Yeah, you don't think sometimes when our phone cuts off or it buffers is because of family members calling? Huh? You know? We honor, me personally, I honor my mother and father from the distance. You know, because let's keep it real, a lot of our family members are still under curses.
Yeah.
You gotta really, one thing I learned, there's generational demons, man. There's generational curses that some of us have taken because we were raised by a single mother. And then that single mother is still the same way when you were 9 years old.
Yep.
And we not 9 no more, man. We not your diary no more. You know? And that's a sad thing to say, but it's true. Keep going.
While he yet talked to the people, behold, his mother and his brethren stood without.
Why ain't you answering? Then they call again. You know? Keep going.
Desiring to speak with him.
Yeah, desiring.
I want to talk to you about
you
what?
doing? Right, like,
yeah, you know, you got
what you doing?
Yeah.
Never ask you got any plan. What's going on in your life? You know?
And then it's not even a dialogue, it's a dominated conversation with her. And then I was, and before you say some, and then we had, and then I was thinking, and you know what? Like, yo, like me personally, nah, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I honor you from the distance. We got lives we're living too.
Come on.
You have family members talk about, I need help. So then you call them, and they just sipping.
It's drama.
They just drama and drunk. We don't need that over here, man. We honor our mother and father from the distance, you know? A lot of our people are just still under curses.
Yeah.
And then what's so sad is they'll have spirits on them within that. Now they trying to tell you about God.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the demon on them. Like, why are you trying to tell me about God, but you know what I'm doing? See? So you honor, but man, leave the Christian family members alone, man. The fucking baked beans and potato salad ain't even that serious. Right or right?
Mm-hmm.
You can make that shit at home. You ain't always got to be up under them.
You gotta fake like the phone disconnected.
Yeah.
You got fake
Right.
freeze.
You gotta be like, yeah, I was there. Now we don't do that, but you know, it's sad that for some brothers and sisters, that's the reality. Not for everyone. Some may have a good relationship. Some you know, like my father's cooler. You know what I
Right.
mean? My pops is
Pops
cool.
is cooler.
Yeah, yep, we good. Okay, all right, click. But the moms, it's like, all
Always
right,
feel
come
with
on,
some,
man.
yeah, bro.
Come
Always
on,
some
man.
shit.
Keep going. I pray for him, but there's nothing I can do outside of that. I'm still trying to make it myself. Yeah.
Matthew 12:47. Then one said unto him, behold, thy mother and thy brethren stand without.
Like he's like, yo, you want me to turn the camp off so you could call him back? Keep going.
Desiring to speak with thee. Well, he answered and said unto him that told him, who is my mother?
Wow.
And who are my brethren?
Wow.
And he stretched forth his hand toward his disciples
Yep.
and said, behold, my mother and my brethren. For whoever says,
Read it again.
for whosoever shall do the will of my Father,
Yep.
which is in heaven,
Yep.
the same is my brother and sister and mother.
And that's why it says we treat the aged woman like a mother.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So for the aged sisters that follow, we would treat them as a mother. You know? Handle them delicately, you know, understanding situations. Then you got sisters, then you got brothers. That's why we say Ak. Akya means my brother. Ak means brother. Akwaf, sister or sisters. Okay? So we have a spiritual family, even though we all are a family. Because Amos 3:3 says, you're the only family I've known. So now we're coming back through prophecy as a family under the same vibration. Not just because you're an Israelite. We got to question. We got to ask. Because what's up, man?
I'm starting a party. It's called the Party of One. One world, one race, one people. We're all connected. There's no black, there's no white, there's no old, there's no young, there's no nothing. There's one.
You know who?
We're all one fucking unit. We're all connected.
Like universalism.
No, I don't care what you call it.
No, I'm saying that's what it's called, universalism. Like, have you ever heard of
The Party of One.
have you ever heard of a one world government?
No,
Have you ever heard of a universal basic income?
No.
Well, the standing government of America is going to attempt to unite the world as
Fuck
one,
America.
but they're going to attempt to unite.
I hate this country.
Good.
I hate this fucking
Good.
country. This country's the worst fucking goddamn thing in the fucking world. This is the worst country. There's one world, one race, one human. We're all connected. We are all the same, brother. Every one of us are united. We're the same.
We're not united though, but I understand what
No,
I know
we
what
are.
you get.
If
I get what you.
We are all the same.
But God divided us though. When he made it
We're all created equal.
well,
Everybody is equal.
well,
And
when
you
they
know what?
when
You
they
know,
created, well, I want to talk to. Now you say when we created equal, this is not against you or a personal attack.
No, we are created equal, but people
But by
divide us.
who? Who created us equal?
God did.
Can you get Deuteronomy 7 and 6?
He's the same as me.
Oh,
You're
7
the
and
same
6.
as me. Now look, I'll tell you right
Do you
now.
believe in God?
Oh, beyond that. I believe in a God.
Good. Now,
A God, I don't know the right
you
way.
got
But
you
let
got
me tell
Deuteronomy 7 and 6? Okay, read that real quick. Can I read a Bible verse?
Yeah.
All right, good.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6.
Yeah.
For thou art
Yeah.
a holy people
Yeah.
unto the Lord thy power. For the Lord thy power has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all the people that are upon the face of the earth.
What? How will we break that down now?
So, brother, all I know.
I know.
What my heart says.
I know.
Is that we are all created in the same spirit.
But what do we say to that though? Oh, now you said the same
Man,
spirit,
I
like,
don't know. I don't
oh,
know.
okay, like you mean we're all from Adam?
No, I'm not sure about Adam. I'm sure about God.
Right.
I don't know about Adam. I don't know about Eve. I do believe in Jesus, but I don't know about Adam.
Do you know that Jesus? Do you know his nationality?
He was Jewish.
Well, he was a Hebrew Israelite,
Yeah, he's Israel.
but not Jewish.
He wasn't fucking white. He wasn't some white man on a fucking cross.
Yep.
He was.
Yep.
No, he was not.
But someone changed his image.
Yeah, well, guess who's a white man?
That's
Yeah,
it. That's
Oh,
it.
come on, brother. Listen,
So we don't want to be in league with him though. Like certain white people, right? Like you.
Look, I lived in the hood in
Yeah.
Philadelphia for 5 years.
Yeah.
I was with drugs. I almost murdered a black. Stop.
Yeah.
I totally believe. I want to create one party.
Mhm.
So fuck the Republicans.
Yep.
Fuck the Democrats.
Yep.
Fuck the Independents. A party of one.
Yeah.
We're all connected.
Now, I wanna
We have
tell you-
one fucking earth.
Yep.
Think big.
Yep.
Think big.
Yep.
Imagine this. Imagine we created a party called One.
Yep.
There's one. We're one people.
Yep.
White, black, old, new, young, old. And you know what? We're gonna have resentment.
Now, how do we create order out of that? Like, how will we bring order for all these people? They're all going to be
There's
one.
gotta be a leader.
There it is.
One leader.
And who is that?
Well, me.
No. Yeah. I got you. I got
There
you.
has to be one leader.
And that leader will be Yahweh Shai. Remember, they changed his image, so that means they also changed his name. His name is Yahweh Shai. This is what he looks like. See, like you say, your black wife.
I love that.
See?
Yo,
Yeah.
I'm all right.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
what the leader will be.
It will be Yahweh Shai.
But you know why?
King of Kings, Lord of Lords.
Could be. You know why? Because people are followers.
Yeah.
Everyone's a follower.
Yeah. Starting with his sheep.
99% of everybody's a follower. And there's so few leaders.
But starting with the sheep.
But we need a leader.
Yes. King David.
We have Satan fucking running this country.
That's right.
Satan. Oh, this is what predicted.
Yep.
It's Satan.
Yep.
And you know what?
But it's going to change soon. So they're going to, I'm going to put you on.
We have to
They're-
fight.
We are.
Fight hate.
We're fighting it right now.
Fight hate with love. Because the only way to beat that fucking hate.
But before we can love who the Lord hates, he's going to have to judge. So there are people that the Lord hates. See?
No.
It's all good. It's all
No,
good.
no,
No, we
no,
good.
no.
It's good.
All
You
right.
know, it's
All
all
right, gotta
good.
go.
All right. Have a good one.
But I love you.
You're good. Thank
I
you.
love it.
Appreciate it.
I'm telling you right now.
Okay.
I'm a victim of this idea.
Yep.
The party of one.
Yep.
There's one
You know how
one.
you say one and what it's called one in here? They call it Yasharala. That will be one.
Love it.
Yep.
We gotta get rid of country.
Yeah.
Fuck country.
Yeah. Well, America's going to be destroyed in the next world's war.
Oh, it should be.
You-
Let me tell you something.
yeah.
No, Haiti and Africa.
Yeah.
The United States.
Yeah.
Canada.
Yeah.
Germany. Fuck the borders. There should be one world.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be a border in the kingdom of heaven, but our border will be called the walls of salvation. So we have to establish an order. So we will be a ruling government over the world.
I don't know anything about
I
that.
got
But
a precept.
read it, please.
Yep.
It's all good. We'll see you soon, okay?
All right,
We
I
appreciate
love
you.
I
Yeah.
really love
Thank you. We appreciate it.
I think about this all the fucking
That's
time.
good. That's good.
You know,
That's good, brother. We'll see you soon.
I love it.
Yep. Yep. Oh, you feel the rain? Days of Noah. Read this one out of here.
This is Daniel 2 and 44.
Feel the energy. I love you.
That's it. Thank you.
I love you, baby.
That's it.
And it's quiet around. I love you, baby. On this rainy day. I love you.
Yeah.
Love. Guess what? There is no way darkness can ever exist when there's light. Never.
Yep.
You turn a light on, and the darkness goes away.
Yep. All right. Yep. And men hate darkness rather than light. But this is the light that's coming in the world.
Good with it, Jake.
Yeah. Let's see.
Right. Daniel 2 and 44. And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom
Thank you.
which shall never be destroyed. and the kingdom shall not be left to other people,
Right.
but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever.
Boom. So we get what he's trying to say.
Right.
But what you have to understand is prophecy has a part to play.
Right.
So there is going to be a one world government that on the right hand side, which would be also called the house of David. But Esau Edom is attempting a one world government to institute the MOTB and his new world order. So he's going to get people through the act of love and universalism, you know, and unity. Okay, but the real righteous unity is when the children of Israel are unified back to Yahweh Shem Shai in the promised land under the new covenant.
That's right.
All right. So what's it say? Israel seeks swift actions on Persia, could act alone ahead Trump deadline. See, that's prophecy. So with that, we're gonna say, Adonai Tazah, you brothers and few sisters was edified through the Spirit as we were, and we just want to say, call halal, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakudash. Double honors to our elders, bishops, and apostles, a great millstone that do well. Peace and salutations to the Lord's elect. With that being said, shalom.
Shalom.